This side.
Fuji go hot in the beat. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
And welcome. You know, all I do is I got the song in my head, so I'm like, just imagine. I was like, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Heavyweight Bros podcast. It is episode 38 for that. Your thing? That thing? For y'all? You know, I was about to get on my 5 minutes. You know, I got episode 38 for that thing. Anyways, it is the day after April Fool's Day, April 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
I am your host, per usual. As always, the 5XL assassin, the diabolical diabetic, your boy, the big nasty. To my right, the co-host, the high yellow hitman, Coach Buck, my little dumpling, the freaking deacon, my man, Uncle Raisin. What's going on, man?
So glad you got tongue-tied on the
doing? How you doing, big dumpling?
What's going on? Good, man. Why did I respond to that?
That's me.
That's the homie in the hood. Yo, big dumpling. Like, come on, man.
The next beer has to have like a little dumpling on it.
No.
Or like whatever your shirt that my boy G-Head makes for you. Just got to say like my little dumpling somewhere on it. So G-Head, if you're out there, if you haven't met G-Head, you can go find him at custom merch at IG. And that's, you know what I'm saying, hit that promo code Heavyweight Bros, spelled HW, the number 8BROS, save you 10% off your order. Because the more you spend,
the more you save.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I've been doing a lot of running around today. Got on my bike.
You sure you're doing good?
Yeah. I got on my bike today. You know what I mean? Did a little self-care. You know what I mean? Now it's pod time. You already know how I feel when it's pod time. How about you?
I was trying to think of the lyrics to like the intro song. It was like, now I'm strapped in. Had to give your girl a back bend. It's like that's not the lyrics.
No,
so
Young King, I apologize.
That's what I'm saying. Wait, look, get me on the remix.
We got you.
Thought I took it out. I said, nah, it's back in.
Yeah, we digress.
Anyways, yeah, like yo, March was a dope month for me. I felt like I feel like I had a great month.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
Not really.
Okay.
But at the same time, like it felt long as hell. Like I was like, damn, we just got to April. Like I felt like, you know, because there's no vacations, nothing in there. Even though I took a vacation, it still felt like it was pretty low.
I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like the beginning of March kind of took its time. And then once that first week was over, it's like, all right, fam, I'm done with March. And it just blew by. Because, like, it was 3 birthdays in March for me and my family. You know what I mean? Yep. It was like my son turned 20. My mom had a birthday. My pops had a birthday. Before you know, you turn a corner after a couple special guests. You know what I mean? It's a wrap.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Bam was on last week.
Right.
He was just chilling in the corner.
I was going to say you had a birthday, but you know what I mean? I wasn't invited to hang out. You know what I mean? I seen all the nice, fun festivities, though. I just didn't see me anywhere in there. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, I don't make my own birthday parties. It's like apparently you didn't.
There's a good one. That's a good one right there. That's a good one
right
there. That's fine. I'm going to work my way into the inner circle, and I'm just going to kick the frame out of that joint. It's going to look like a square by the time I'm done.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Does it know what a door frame is? Is it a square?
Yes. See how that all went full circle?
So you're just going to kick it into a regular
entendre.
I don't think that is a double entendre.
Yes, because it started off as a circle. It's a circle.
What door is a circle?
Depends on who you know.
What? You saying these are
I got your mind blown?
No.
I got your mind blown?
No, you're just saying stuff. You're like T.I. and Kevin Gates. They just say things.
Oh, that's terrible. Like Jaden Smith, that's how we do. You just saying stuff. Cut it out. All right, well, March is over.
Yeah, I was going to say.
April's here.
Yeah, I'm ready for the school year to be over. I don't know if you saw, but the district calendar already came out too.
District calendar coming out. Mask is off. Kids is in school. No mask on. You know what I mean? It's like it's starting to feel a little bit like normalcy. And then as soon as
I don't
you
know
say
what
that,
I'm still wearing my mask around these dudes.
So I'll be having the mask under my chin.
What
but when I'm in certain areas or like I'm like, yeah, this don't feel safe. It's like I don't feel as COVID-y in this area, but in this area,
just by looking around, this look mad COVID in here.
Like over here is kind of COVID-esque. Like, so I keep myself with me.
You got your real COVID-y vibe.
Come in the room. Sometimes I go into a room and I'm just like, man, y'all room just smells crazy. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? I just it's I think it's more of like people want the mask to be off, but it's like it's been almost 2 years, maybe more. So it's become a natural fixture of your life, and you kind of feel awkward not wearing the mask. So I just feel like you've had something in your life that's no longer needs to be there, that you didn't want there, but you've been so used to it being there, and now that you are allowed to be without it, you're kind of like, I don't really know.
I feel weird when I forget my mask in the car. And it's like you get to wherever the establishment is, and he goes, "Oh yeah, like my mask." But then like you're like, "Oh, nobody's wearing them in here," and I'm like, I feel like that's not a good thing. And then it's like I'm just standing there like I kind of still want to go to the car and get it because it's like I don't trust what everybody else is doing in here. Right. But then you just don't.
Like I said, I keep myself with me. It's always one in my jacket, one in my bag, one in the car, one in my.
I keep that thing on me.
One inside the building. Worst case scenario, I'm going to get one of the little extra ones out the box that you don't really want to use because you know you got the little nice white ones, and you got them blue ones that's just basically a face cover.
For some reason, the kids love the blue ones. Like that's
and
the
hate the other ones. I offered the kid one of the
nice ones.
NF9
K95.
Yeah, he was just like, "Oh, I ain't wearing that doofy mask." I was like, "Fam, this is safety
this
here.
Is the one.
Bro, you got a Kleenex on your face. You don't want to wear this.
You got a Dunkin' Donuts wrapper across your face.
Right, like fam, there was a fish fillet in that right just a second ago. You think that's protecting you? This is where it's at." But,
so like, I know like we're getting like crazy off base, but like, did you hear this thing about like what us wearing masks has like done for like the medical community?
No.
So like because of the fact that we've all been wearing masks and we've been like social distancing and stuff like that for the past 2 years, we've eliminated over 100,000 different strands of the flu virus. Like the numbers.
Say word.
Yeah, like there's so many different variations of the flu that are just like extinct now.
We've been looking at Asia all crazy, like they've been wearing masks for dumb long. And then,
yeah, but it's like it's literally like they don't exist anymore anywhere. Like they're just like gone. Like that's how, and then like the number of like flu cases and death by the flu have like dramatically like hit rock bottom and stuff like that. Like numbers that we haven't seen in like over like 200 years or something like that. Like it's crazy.
So COVID's the new flu.
I mean,
we got rid of one.
Well, COVID is a variation of the flu. It's a mutation of it.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's just crazy to think about, like, because you know a lot of people are just like it's stupid, like it didn't change anything, it didn't do anything. It was like, well, actually, like it did take care of a lot of stuff. But it's just like I think that's also the lengths we need to go to in order to eliminate that stuff. And it's like that's just crazy.
I am kind of happy they gone, man. Because I've always been super concerned with the whole breathing my own air back into my mouth. It was just like, it was always mad studies about it, but no clarification. I was just like, felt like I spent the last 2 years secondhand smoking. So I was like, you wake up some days like, oh man, these lungs, they need some exercise.
I mean, we're the ones that have to deal with your breath for the most part. So think about how we feel. That's what I'm saying.
Can't be mad at you because that's the joke I've been using from kids for the last week. That one, and that's the face that's under that mask.
Yo, that's been one of the crazy.
I'm not impressed. Let's go ahead and throw the mask.
That's been one of the craziest things is assuming what people look like underneath their mask, and then actually seeing them like, oh, you goofy as hell. Like you look crazy.
Yo, I promise you, I walked right into a kid and was just like, "Are you new here?" He was like, "Mister, it's me." I was like, "Oh, that's you."
My man, Jay.
Hey! Yeah, it's like re-meeting people for the second time. It's like their second debut. He hates it. All right, we're gonna segue.
Moving on.
We're gonna get to these digging in the crates. No diggity, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so first things first, I did do.
I'll pop up treats on the
every time. I did do some research.
Okay.
And it turns out the boy Nigo does have an album.
Why are we giving him so much play?
I don't know. It was intriguing to me. He dropped a couple tracks.
You're the only person.
The George was fire.
You're the only person checking for these Nigo tracks.
I went looking and there was more, and I enjoyed a couple more of them joints too. So the album's called I Know Nigo.
Oh, so the album is like out, like it's been out?
Yes, it's called I Know Nigo.
Okay.
I think the fact that nobody kind of knew about this album was probably why it didn't get a lot of airway, maybe. I don't know, but
you sure spending a lot of money on videos though. Like, I'm granted
So
that.
I think that's when the notoriety came, when the video started popping up on YouTube and stuff like that. It's just like, so the video said like it's been on for 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, but I think the album was out before that.
Okay.
And like he's putting together some good artists on there. I'm not mad at it at all.
Did you look at the track listings? Like, who else is on there?
No. So
is it worth? Did you listen to any of the album?
I didn't listen to the album, but like, you know, once you watch one YouTube video, it leads you to another one.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was worth our time to actually listen to it.
It's not a bad album. It's not at all. It's a mixtape, bro. It's a mixtape. They put a bunch of artists
look on it right
there.
now. So we got Tyler the Creator.
Yep.
ASAP Rocky.
ASAP's on a few joints, I think.
The Clips.
I told you about the Clips. That was last episode.
Gunna, Pharrell, Kid Cudi, Teriyaki Boys, ASAP Ferg, Pusha T, Pop Smoke.
Yep, the Pop Smoke joint is hard too.
Lil Uzi and another Tyler the Creator one.
The Lil Uzi joint is hard too.
Is he up for album of the year? Are you telling me that Nigo's up there?
I don't think he's up for album of the year, but it is definitely worth a listen, man. There are some joints on there that could end up being like a little summer banger. So
it's been a minute since we've had a summer banger. I was bringing that up to somebody not too long ago because it's like
play through just all the time,
like usually there's a sound that like encapsulates the summer. Right. I remember when like Cardi B's Bodak Yellow was out. It was like you couldn't escape that song, or like when Bad and Bougie was out, you couldn't escape them and stuff like that. But like I felt like these last 2 years, mostly because we just didn't have a summer.
Facts.
Like it was just like
it
was tough, and like songs have had a tough time sticking around recently too. And it's like we've had dope albums and stuff like that, but like even with the dope albums, like nothing's really like stuck like that, or like the albums that have been dope haven't had the big radio success.
Right.
Even you think about how big like WAP was. Like WAP was a huge song. It didn't last very long. Like it like really came and went with the video and stuff like that. And like it didn't stick.
I couldn't tell you the words.
From the top, make it pop. That's some wet. You know.
Okay.
Follow me. Thinking I was out of me. There's some balls in the sauce. No.
Is that the beat that goes to?
Yeah, certified free. 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Wet ass pussy.
Back in summer. Back in the summer.
I was definitely in the basement. Like, hoes in the sauce.
Quarantining in this house.
Looking like oh my God, why am I gonna kill this man's name from Silence of the Lambs? Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Come on, you know what I'm talking about though, right?
No.
What is it? Not Sideshow
Bob. The main character?
The bad guy, the one they're trying to catch. Something
yeah.
Bob. It puts the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again. You know what I'm talking about, right? Come on.
I don't know.
It puts the lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose again. It's gonna kill me. And the thing is, like, I know Paige or somebody's gonna watch this, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's Billy Bob Thornton." It's like Cowboy Bill. Oh my God, it's gonna kill me. But yeah, like that's how I'm in the basement. Like,
it's gonna be an hour into the show. It's gonna come back to you.
It's killing me right now.
It's like Silence of the Bane. It sounds so crazy. All right, we'll segue away from that, man. What's his name? Jim Jones got a new song out.
I saw it.
It's called.
I heard it.
It's called Fit Lit.
It was weird.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good. It was like weird. Like I don't know why, but I was like, this video makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, this
is like what is it? Dave East, Jim Jones, Fab, and
Mano.
The one I don't care about. Yeah, it's like,
so that's basically the group that he's been working out with.
Yeah, they've been like.
I know it started off, but I think it was just like Jim Jones and Mano, and then like everybody, like I know there was like these couple cuts where they was cracking on Fab because he was showing up to the gym in like velour suits.
Yo, by the way, have you seen the way Fab works out?
No.
And it's like I know, like as I'm a heavyweight bro, something like that. Like people might talk to people, but I'm like, is Fab really working out, or is Fab just like moving stuff around? Like it has like everybody else is actually working out.
Hey,
his arms are like this thick and something.
Hey, listen, it is what it is. If you come out there one day looking like the new Chappelle, then you gotta know the difference.
Like Busta Rhymes. Remember when Busta Rhymes all of a sudden gained mad weight?
Yeah.
Dr. Dre.
And then lost mad weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to the guys. But yeah, it was, the song was kind of
That's what I mean.
Fab killed it though.
He always does.
Fab did kill it. I'm happy that Fab went last. I haven't really like ever like heard too much of Mano, and if I did, I wouldn't know it.
High Hater was his big one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that didn't help.
That was pretty trash. As I was doing it, I was like, yeah, this is a really like.
Yeah,
Look, that beat could just get that would be gone.
right. But yeah, I just don't know if this is gonna be like the only reason I brought it up is I didn't know if this was gonna be like the beginning of some new trend where like that group of dudes is just putting out mad music. I know Jim Jones isn't doing a lot with Dipset, or Dipset's not doing a lot. You know what I mean? Fab hasn't had like an album in it's been like a year or two.
It's been about 2 years. I want to say like the last one was like the Summertime Shootout, which was like right before COVID, I think.
Right, and I feel like we haven't really got like a strong performance from Davies. He had a lot of strong features.
Yes,
but so
he's had a weird career. Yeah. He's obviously got the talent. He has the perfect voice for it. Mm-hmm. He can do it, but it's like for some reason he just doesn't. He doesn't like transcend, and I feel like he should.
Yeah, I equate it to like he's like a really dope NBA player, but he ain't really settled in and became the guy on that team. But every time he gets released from a team, everybody always picks him up because they know he can ball. But it's just like
Jamal Crawford,
like a Jamal Crawford. Look at that. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. The song was, like I said, Fab helped the song at the end. But
I think if they do make like an album thing, like Fab's would be doing a lot of heavy lifting. Mm-hmm. I've never been the biggest Jim Jones.
Jim Jones bars wasn't bad.
Like, but it's like for some reason, like he never really resonated with me like that.
Yeah.
Except for like I just love the ad libs. Mm-hmm. I feel like his ad libs are way more important than his actual bars.
I feel you. He is an ad libber.
Lawson. I think it's like I got a chest cold. I might sneeze on the chick. He's like, achoo.
Right. I was like, he'll rap something, but then say something right after he raps it, and the saying of it sounds doper than the rapping of it. Yeah. Like I think he does it in that song. He was like, I bought Chrissy a car the day that Betty White died, and I called it Betty White. Yeah, it's Betty White. Like, we get it.
Thank you for being a friend. Like, we should have done. Let's get to the nitty grit, man. All
right, I'm gonna get right to it. I know you've been waiting for this.
Come on now.
So, the boys over at Dreamville dropped the album, or like a surprise mixtape.
Wasn't really. I feel like 2 weeks ago it got announced, but then like people kind of forgot that it got announced because like they don't do anything with a lot of hoopla.
Right.
Like they don't make like these big things. But I'm pretty sure like on Twitter they were like 2 weeks dropping a mixtape with DJ Drama, and then like they dropped the mixtape with DJ Drama. I think it's because it fell on April Fool's Day. Like everybody thought it was a joke.
Right. And it's called Gangsta Grills.
D-Day.
D-Day.
Yeah.
It just says a lot of Gangsta Grills.
Because it's a Gangsta Grill mixtape. It's DJ Drama's all over.
Oh, okay.
Gangsta Grills, you bastards!
That's why he came, because he's literally on every song 4 times, like he was DJ Clue back in the 90s.
He's the first person that has made a joke or a reference about the Will Smith slap so far.
Really? What do you say?
On one of the songs, like he has like a whole bar, and he's like, "Yeah, you better chill out before you get Chris rocked." He's like, "Make you walk back to your seats." He's like, "Keep our names out your mouth." And there's a whole thing. He's the first person that's done it. And I was like, I knew it was coming. I feel like we all knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming, and he was the first person that did it.
Yeah.
And it's actually like it was really well done. I was like, did DJ Drop write this bar? Or like, did you listen to it?
I did.
And
ups and downs.
Okay, smiles and frowns.
Smiles and frowns. I like the Ari Lennox songs as a vibe.
Oh yeah,
the Ari Lennox songs are a vibe.
She did the Mary J on one of them, right? She's down. I'm going down.
That one was kind of easy to vibe to because you still kind of had that Mary J feeling to it. So
you can always fall back into that.
Yeah,
melody.
I feel like that was kind of a layup, like you know what I mean. So, but like the couple songs that she had on there was a vibe. The joint that resonates with me the most is the Earth Gang 2 Chainz joint. That joint
was fire.
That joint bangs. I feel like Earth Gang kind of carried on this album a little bit.
Really? Because I think so. I feel like someone else kind of did.
Who?
You said that as soon as I was trying to remember who was it. I felt like
Is it JID? Cole?
I think there wasn't enough JID on this. No, I think he's only on like 2 songs.
Right.
And I feel like
Earth Gang's only on 2 or 3 songs, and they killed on the songs that they was on.
Somebody tweeted. And they were like, so we all agree that we're skipping all the tracks of Omen, right? And I was like, wow, is Omen that bad? And I was like, I didn't notice it until like now, like when I listen to it, I look over, I'm like, oh, this is an Omen song.
Yeah, I think for me, the leading joint right now is the Earth Gang and 2 Chainz joint. That joint's hard.
So to me, the one that's leading is the one that has A$AP Ferg on it. And like, I
haven't heard that one.
Yeah, did you listen to this? I think that might be the one with the DJ Drama thing on it too. With him talking about the slap.
How did I miss a track?
You asking me? I'm trying to ask you how you missed a track.
Go through it.
Want me to go through it real quick?
Yes.
All right, we'll fill some of this time while I'm doing that.
All right.
Okay, so you got the first track. It's called Stick. It's got JID, J. Cole, Sheck West, Kenny Mason.
Yeah.
Ghetto Gods, which is the one you're talking about, is the one with Earth Gang and 2 Chainz.
Yep, fire.
Lifestyle, that's the one I'm talking about that has Boss and A$AP Ferg on
I
it.
haven't heard that one.
That's what you call it.
That's the one I missed.
Play it real quick.
No, don't play it on here. We don't got no rights to that. You tripping, man. We don't
I was just playing the beat. I was just gonna play the beat.
No, just send it to me later. I'll listen to it.
Loot is the dude that I was talking about. Like, I feel like every song that Loot is on, like, I really, really enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, he's got, like, the song Start at 5, which I think, like, it's got one of the better hooks on it.
Yeah, that joint was tough.
Got the Ari Lennox joint coming down. Hair Salon is one that I keep going back to, too. And that one's with Kaz, G. Perico, and Reason.
I didn't get to hear that one either. I haven't heard Reason in a minute. Stop doing that.
I think the thing is, like, the beats are so fire to me, like, on this album. And, like, that's one of the things, like, because I feel like Dreamville doesn't usually rap on these type of beats. And it's, like, the Gangsta Grill, like, DJ Drama beats, like, with them, like, it's just, like, it brings me back to, like, Lil Wayne Dedication days, like, the Cool Kids Tackle Box and stuff like that. Like, that's what it brings me back to. But, like, J. Cole's he's on, like, 3 different songs on here. But the other Ari Lennox song is called Blackberry Sap.
Yes. I did listen.
Which has another sample on it, which I can't pull from the top of my head. I know you don't want me to press the song, so I'm not going to press it.
I just don't want to have to pay Dreamville. I don't know how nice Cole will be if he does have his music's on our platform.
The one that's called Barry from Simpson has JID, 2 Chainz, and Young Nutty.
I heard that one.
That one was pretty solid too. There's really like not many songs on here I don't like.
So I only missed 2 songs.
And then there's the Big Trouble freestyle, which is the one on the Biggie beat, which is killing me. Who shot you?
Oh no, I didn't hear that one either.
Yo, man, like I'm starting to think that you just didn't listen to this album. That you
because I don't be having all the little apps right there, bro. I don't even.
What'd you listen to it on?
On YouTube.
Oh, that makes sense.
They released it on YouTube though, so every time
you mean to tell me we're in partnership with Spotify? You don't got Spotify?
I don't have Spotify.
Pandora.
Nope.
Apple Music. Well, you don't got an Apple phone.
Nope. You
got Google Play though, right?
Yeah. Ain't
it on Google Play? That's not how it works.
I never use it. That joint's just on my phone. I never use it.
SoundCloud?
Oh.
Yeah, man. I gotta, as your boy Young King would say, we gotta get you tapped in, man.
Hey, I guess so. Gotta get you tapped in. I guess so.
I thought you were gonna pull
the one song pulled up on YouTube. I listened to that joint and it led me to the next song, and I just kept clicking on them joints and listening to the album.
So I'll screenshot the track listing so that way you could look at it from there.
Facto. I like that.
What you got? I was gonna say like if you wanted to shout out Young King, but I looked at where his sign was that you tossed and how far it is. Maybe if we weren't so rough with our things, it would be available so we can give our boy a proper shout out.
Yeah, listen.
But if you do search up Young King on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Twitter, and IG, you should be able to find some of his music.
Word.
Young King, TR, because he does have a new track out.
He does.
So he does.
George Fire. It's called what?
I forgot.
The Most.
Okay. That's what you're doing right now.
Not me. You doing the least.
I would have shouted him out. I did the whole thing. And what you call it? I'm listening to all the Dreamville stuff. Everything that's on here. I was in there. I did that.
I don't know. You sound a bit aggressive.
Are we going to skip over Popcorn Papi? Because I still haven't seen this movie, but it's like I just have not
definitely not doing Popcorn Papi. There's no movie stuff. We can't get into this Insomnia hour, though.
I mean, I wish you would have told me that we were going to be so late in the podcast today because I would have went and watched it so that we would have had something on Popcorn Papi. You know?
And I would have let you waste your day going to watch that.
You let me waste my day doing everything else anyway. Don't watch Morbius.
There you go.
Apparently, it's that bad. It's got a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Watch it. Wow.
19%. They say that's the worst superhero movie of all time.
Sheesh.
I can't wait.
Well,
why do we keep casting? All right, we got to take a second. Don't stop, pop that. Why do we keep casting Jared Leto in this stuff? Like, what's the role, or like, what is the thing that everybody was like? Jared Leto was like a transcending talent. Like, what is the thing that people keep going back to? Because I'm thinking about Blade Runner. I'm thinking about Suicide Squad. I'm thinking about Morbius. I'm like, he seems to be like he takes nothing but L's all the time.
I feel like somebody owe him favors or something.
I feel like he's a Dollar General Johnny Depp. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
Crazy.
Somebody's gonna hit the thing and be like, "Oh, you trying to tell me that you didn't see him in this movie? It's gonna be like some rom-com that I didn't watch." I was like, "No, I didn't." So like,
now what?
How do you just type in fart? And it's like, can I do that?
The little poop emoji.
Or as Netflix say, blows raspberry. That's what they put in the
really
the whatchamacallit subtitles. Every time somebody goes, it goes blows raspberry.
Never knew.
I don't know about you, but like I can't not watch TV without the subtitles.
My son is the same way. I'm like, yo, fam, you understand English? Why are the subtitles?
I'm like, yo, can y'all turn the words off so I can hear this?
Yeah. Yeah, that is crazy. All right, well, we'll get off the popcorn pop. You get into this insomnia hour.
Wake me up inside.
Wake me up.
Wake me up inside.
Save me.
Save me from the nothingness inside.
Hey. Oh, snap. Somebody was mad about you singing.
Somebody's being murdered upstairs.
All right, so
check on that.
we're going to get right into it. Snowfall, new episode. Did you watch it?
I did.
Wow, look at you actually doing some work for the pod.
On top of these
Yes.
talking about.
What'd you think?
I feel like I really, really liked the Kane and Leon conversation. And it was like, Leon.
Yep.
I do think Kane is definitely going to try and double cross him.
Yep.
But I think he's going to do it like on good faith to kind of like show Leon how much of a sucker Franklin is.
And he's going to try to justify it the way they justified killing his brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what you call it? It's starting to come around too. He's looking like he's having a change of heart. The uncle,
Jerome.
Yeah. Jerome seemed like he's falling into a different
Teach some motherfuckers how to squabble. Yeah. I don't care. That's the bar of the year so far. That's my favorite thing.
So next time I'm gonna approach you with this hammer. That man broke 2 metacarpals in his hand on that man's face.
I don't know, like if you pay attention to like a lot of TV stuff or like just like tropes or like things that seem in common, but it's like usually in TV shows, it's never a good time. It's never a good sign when 2 people are about to get married. Because it's like
somebody dies.
It's like somebody's gonna die, or like we're not gonna have this wedding, or like somehow, some way, like it always doesn't end up positive.
I don't think Jerome's gonna be the one, because I think the show gets so much value from him losing his love and going crazy and wilding out than it is for him to go and we're stuck with her, because her character's starting to get on my nerves.
Really?
Yes.
I think that she's pretty justified in a lot of her stuff, where it's like they're pretty legitimate and they're doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. And like Franklin is the one that keeps messing up what they got going on.
I get it. I feel like there's a lot of shiesty navigate. Like you are in a business where you're not supposed to be rocking with the boys like that. Both her and his mom are wilding right now.
Oh, his mom's definitely wilding.
His mom's definitely wilding.
Does she? All right, sissy. You're supposed to be pretty smart. You're supposed to be hip to this game. Granted, the drug world or the drug game isn't your thing, but like you were married to a Black Panther. Like you try to tell me like you don't know, or she was a Black Panther herself, wasn't she? And it's just like you don't see like how this is most likely going to end up.
And the way she's been behaving, it reintroduced me to your idea that Franklin's pops may not be dead.
I don't think he's dead. I already told you that's another TV trope.
If he ends up, like, say he did get killed for all of this, like you're literally going to make the same mistakes that he made to almost end up the same way that he did. I feel like there's some level of confidence of getting this done so that he can come back to the States or something crazy like that. Like,
do you think that she knows that Alton's not dead and she's the only one that knows that he's not dead?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because like I must say, like when she came back, like she seemed to like laissez-faire about talking about it. Like it was like that's a big traumatic thing. Is like I went to go move to Cuba with my husband and now he's gone. But she'd be like, hey, you're just like your father. And then you do something like that. I'd be like, yo, like I feel like we never talk about it ever again.
And little statements like that, like for you to say something not in past tense, is almost giving up that someone's not alike. It's like you would say you just like your father was, or like you had like you just like your father, and you saying that calmly may mean that like you know that this man is not dead. But even when Teddy's like your mom's being here is not what the plan was. Like fam,
no, because if there's anybody that's big tripping, it's Teddy.
Yes,
the brother's big tripping, and then like I'm surprised that like Franklin lets him talk to him as crazy as he talks to him. Because he'd be saying stuff to Franklin. He'd be telling Franklin, he's like, no, that's not what we're doing. And that's not what you're going to do. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. And you're going to do this.
But the thing is, like, all this is stuff that he was not like he's falling apart.
100%.
He is falling apart, and whatever he's got going on is about to ruin him. And Franklin are going to ruin each other. But I mean, this is based on somewhat on realistic events. You know what I mean? So you can only imagine how it's going to unfold. But it's like, yeah, it's
the little Puerto Rican surgeon shorty. That's my type of crazy. Like, I'd be so in on this nonsense, and everybody would be like, "This is so bad for you," and I'd be like, "I know."
Yeah, she's toxic.
I can't.
She loves seeing that man shot and injured.
Can't give it up, baby.
He gave her a whole bag of money. She didn't even flinch.
She looked disappointed. She's like, right. "Oh, this is all the money."
Right. It's like, this ain't working money. Like,
she's like, "Oh, this is only like 4 houses that I'm holding in my hand." But it's just like, that's not what I'm really here for. I'm here for the thrills, baby.
And you and Young King got a bet on Peaches, and still no sign of Peaches.
I know.
Still no reality on what happened.
That's what I'm saying. But I think I told you. Turns out it was Paige that my boy Pythagoras that brought this up. Is that he believes that Peaches has the HIV, and I was like, I think Peaches has the HIV, and I was like, he might be right on that. So like our bet was that Peaches wasn't the one that stole the money, right?
Yes. You said that Peaches didn't?
Yeah, like he didn't do it. Is it?
Yeah.
That's
either way,
what it was, right?
It was based on if he took the money or not. I can't remember which one of y'all went what way, but
I definitely went with it wasn't Peaches. And he was like, nah, it's definitely him because there was only 2 people that knew.
It was only 2 people that knew. At least that's what Franklin said.
How much did you think Jerome was gonna blow that whole house up? When he was like, "You think I don't know a setup?"
Oh yeah. I thought he was about to flame that.
Let that chopper sing, boy.
Right.
Like, I'm telling
but
you,
he couldn't because he had to find Peaches though. You know what I mean? Who was still not there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I think we're gonna see him. And he's gonna be strung out because he got the HIV, and that's how he got the HIV.
They did say that he was an addict though.
Yeah, but that's how he got the HIV. Some sharing needles. Because then that's gonna be the best thing is Jerome's gonna catch up to him, and like he don't know how to filter himself. He's gonna be like, "You trying to tell me that you out here being a homosexual, and that's why you like over here?" And he's like, "Nah, man, share needles."
Right. And then
he went to the boys that do boys that get HIV.
Right. You know that man went to the whole Vietnam joint, and like he might be a little more empathetic. You never know. It's gonna be weird though. We'll see. What a waste. They're gonna save that for the last episode though.
I think so too.
There's only a few left. It's going by fast. These TV shows are going by fast.
It's $20. I'm okay with losing if I'm wrong.
Yeah, okay. All right. In other news, switch on over to Bel-Air. New episode of Bel-Air. This was actually the finale.
I was going to ask you. I was like, do we have confirmation that this is a finale? Because it looked and felt like a finale. It says
on Hulu finale.
Okay.
And I did not know it was going to be the finale.
Wait, you watch it on Hulu?
Yeah.
I didn't know that because I watch it on Peacock because that's where it's on.
Oh, that's what I watch it on Peacock.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
All right.
My bad. Yeah, I'm watching on Peacock.
I was going to say, I was like, damn, Hulu got Bel-Air too?
And if you use the little piracy app, sometimes it comes out at midnight.
All I know was if you use Voodoo. And I was like,
send that check. With a little Voodoo money slinger. But yeah, so they double back. They did a curtain call on the dad episode.
Yo, Marlon Wayans. What was your reaction when he turned around?
When he turned around, I was like,
Literally everybody I watched it, like, oh, Marlon Wayans.
I was like, of all people,
who did you want it to be?
I don't know. I
kind of wanted it to be like a no-name person.
I wanted it to be somebody short. Because Lou was a small frame dude on the TV show.
It just happened.
It just happened. You got me remember this way out and back. But yeah, I don't think Marlon did a bad job.
But it's hard to take him serious, and he's doing serious like the whole time.
Yeah, but that's his new bag. I think he's trying to show his range now because I remember him.
Because he's also doing he's kind of like forcing the deep voice thing.
Yeah,
and it was a little weird.
Yep. But listen, when him and Will got into that conflict, he didn't hesitate.
He put that.
I was like, okay, Marlon.
I thought Uncle Phil was gonna put that man in a body bag. Yo, you choking up?
I was waiting for somebody to smack Will because regardless of what's happening right now, you are talking like you pay bills around here. That man was dropping F-bombs after F-bombs after F-bombs.
I would let it go.
Listen, man.
I would let it go. I would let that chopper sing. Well, let it sing.
Yo. That man bucked up and Marlon grabbed that man.
17 years worth of thoughts that I want to get off right now. It's like, yo, you gonna catch all these thoughts, bro.
Listen, that joint was crazy. It was definitely entertaining.
Whose side are you on?
What you mean?
Like, so, like, let's just say you're in the same type of situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're Uncle Phil. Like, are you letting them link up? Like, what are you doing?
I gotta know what's going. Nah, I am.
Oh, first,
I am.
First,
I am.
I was gonna say first and foremost.
I am.
There's a real whack reason to not tell Will about his dad.
Yeah,
that was like one thing. Is like,
yeah, definitely.
The whole time I was like, that's all he did.
Yeah,
like he just did jail time.
I thought it was definitely more connection to Uncle Phil and them than what it was. And
I thought he
literally no connection at all.
Because he pulled up in like a real nice whip too. So like I was like, yo, he's a big time drug dealer.
Ubered there. He got Ubered there
by Jazz. He's like, I know exactly where you're going.
Right.
But like I was just sitting there. I was like, wait. So all it was when he went to jail, I was like, everybody knows somebody that went to jail.
Right.
Like especially they pops. Like.
Right.
You could have just been like, yeah, your dad's in jail. And it's like and then like apparently it was like some money scheme.
Yeah.
Where like he beat up like an old man. It's like, that's what we're doing. Like not murder.
Right.
Or like not like all this other stuff. Like I was like, yo, like, why didn't you tell your boy this? And then like his mom's is like, I should have done this. And it's like, yeah. You should have. Like, why haven't you had this conversation before? What are you doing?
What have you been telling him other than like he's in jail?
Well, Will thought he was dead.
Yeah,
because that's what Will asked Jeffrey. He's like, yo, he's alive?
Yeah,
he's like, very much so.
Yeah, that's crazy. Everybody in the family's wrong.
Not Jeffrey. Not Jeffrey.
Not Jeffrey. Everybody else is wrong.
I do like when he turned around. He was like when he was pissed off at Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv, and like he's kind of letting him have it, but he looks over and he's like, Ashley, Hillary, Carlton. I told you I was gonna come around on Carlton. I told you I was gonna come around on Carlton.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it. But I was about to say, yo, Carlton had a few slick moves in this episode. For one, actually, I'm gonna go with 4.
Oh, you got 4.
I got 4. First, he came to Will with the paperwork and let him know what was going on, and pulled Phil's card.
He was on that Ethan Hunt in the office.
Right, and he pulled Phil's card just to see if he was gonna lie to his face. You know what I mean?
Phil, why didn't you throw it away?
Why didn't you throw it away?
Why would you leave it? Why would you leave it underneath a water bottle? Like,
right.
What was that?
Right. So like he definitely pulled Phil's card, and that's when Ashley was like, we already know about him. No, that's not this. That's all part of one.
I'm mad you went to go pull my finger. Right. Just tell me to put it back up.
The second one was the callback after his pops left. He came in to check on Will. He didn't have to, but he was just like, yo, all right, I gave all this to you. Things went south. Let me come back and holler at the boy. 3 was definitely dropping the pocket money into his pocket.
Fire.
Yeah, that man.
I literally was like, I was like, oh, you slipped that man like $800. I was like, yo,
no. This is what stood out more to me was not only did he give that man money, he gave that man his sneaker money. Because early in the episode, he was like, Carlton, what are you doing today? He was like, I'm about to hit the gym, and then I was gonna go sneaker shopping, and that's when Phil was like, now I want to take you to the racetrack. So that money was his money that he was going to spend on himself. Of course, it's not his last. His pops will give him some more money. But like, this is like, I already had some kicks in my mind that my guy is holding for me. That is not important right now. I need to make sure you have this.
What type of kicks were you buying? Like I said, like that was like $700-800 that he gave him.
Listen.
It's Bel-Air. It's different, right?
He said sneaker shopping. Okay. I'm not going to buy a pair of kicks.
Sneaker shopping. Last moment.
And the last one is when he went to go see Lisa.
I was just gonna make sure because I was like, if you didn't do that, I was like, that was a number one big homie thing.
That man showed his range, dropped the tears, and was like, "Yo, that man was there for me in my most vulnerable state, and I cannot not be there for him. If I'm not, it's going to kill me."
Yo, where's the charger for this joint? Oh, you holler.
No, we good money. We still good.
But like, yeah, I was like, that was to me, that was the number one thing. I was like, yo, you smoothed over things with my shorty because like. I didn't get to meet her at the ice cream shop.
And
like,
she was acting terrible. Like, I get it. He was not there. But, like, the first thing he said was, Will is missing. He ain't show up.
He is missing.
He's missing. And then he had to say his dad showed up. His dad showed up. Oh, so the missing thing didn't matter to you? Like
well, because you're 17, you a grown-ass man. If you go missing, like, you just left. It's not the same thing.
Still, why is he missing? like, come on.
But that's what happens like in these TV shows. Like, it's like they have a hard time writing like the female character because they're the person that's supposed to be like the upset about certain things, and we're all on the other side, like, oh my god, like this is what you get mad about.
Right.
Like, what's the shorty from Invincible? The girlfriend was the name like Ashley or Amanda or something like that.
Oh yeah,
like, everybody hated her in that season because it was like, yo, you were supposed to be down.
Right.
He told you that he's a superhero. You knew that he was a superhero, but then every time he does superhero things, you be tripping.
Right.
Skylar in Breaking Bad, like she be big tripping.
Oh my goodness.
That's like the worst.
Skylar. Oh
no,
my.
Who's worse, Skylar or Lori from The Walking Dead?
Skylar.
Okay, just checking. I think Skylar's one of the worst of the worst. She's one of the worst of the worst.
Yo, come on, man. I'm not.
I just think about when he was.
I was segue so far away from.
I'm just thinking about when he's when he goes into the floorboards and he's like, Skylar, where is the money?
And who she gave it to?
And she's like, and he's. He's just like losing it. I was like, yo, she was wild. And then he just starts like laughing.
It's like,
kill you.
I mean, it was on the roof like Method Man's like, you're never ever give it. Nope. She gave everything away.
Everything.
Sorry.
It's her booty call.
Sorry. But yeah, so I was excited about the Bel-Air episode. I was tight that it was the finale. I was hoping it was going to be a 12 episode season, but
yeah, they had like no fanfare for it. Like I didn't know it was going to be the finale. And then like as it's ending, I was like, this seems like a finale.
Yeah, they had to, man. Will slapped Chris. Then Marlon grabbed Will. He's like, let's end on this note. There's a lot of violence happening. Right
if Will Smith would have been his dad, Lou, would that have been a better casting call or a worse casting call? Like if it would have been
I think it would have been. I think it's only good if it gets really bad and then it comes. I figure that Marlon is the dad because he's going to be in more episodes.
Of course.
So
that's what I'm saying. Is like
I would say Will Smith would have been better.
Okay, so we get more Will.
Yeah, I think Will Smith would have been better. If I was with the original idea of Will Smith playing Uncle Phil. I don't know why he.
That was the original idea.
Yeah, there was rumors of a reboot where
Jaden Smith was supposed to be
Will and he was supposed to be Uncle Phil. But like even in the show, he could have been Uncle Phil. I think that joint would have still been plausible.
He would have slapped the taste out of Michael Ealy though. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Okay. But
it looks so weird.
The season's over.
Yeah.
So like I don't know like how much you want to delve into it. Do you want to do like favorite characters, worst characters, like things that you thought were dope, things that you thought was trash, or do you kind of want to keep going and we'll see?
I think we could save that for next because I think our new UPN shows are coming to their finales as well.
Yep.
So we could do all those together.
Okay.
All right, because there's another show that just came out that I want to talk about.
Okay.
First episode of Moon Knight.
Moon Knight is here. I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, I know. And I watched it because you said you were waiting for it and you thought it was going to be fire.
Yeah.
I was excited. It was pretty dope. I think it's like a better Venom.
You want to know what's crazy?
What?
Every single person that I talked to about it, because like, everybody watched it. They were like, I know you've been looking for this. What'd you think? I didn't think it was that good of a first episode.
Word.
I didn't think it was that good of a like, I'm being honest. Like, there's a lot, like I was watching it and it's like, number one, this, like a lot of the CGI was really good.
Museum meets Venom.
Crazy. That was a crazy comparison. A lot of the CGI was really bad, especially in those car chase scenes. Like when they're like some of that, a lot of that looked bad. But I kept like stopping,
it's
and I was
a TV
like,
show, not a movie though.
I'm aware of that, but like look at all the other Marvel TV shows. Like when
I don't watch any Marvel TV shows.
You watched all of them.
No movies.
What? You watched Hawkeye, you watched WandaVision, you watched Loki, you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, you watched What If, like those are TV shows. And then did you watch Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, all that stuff? Iron Fist?
I was tight that Luke Cage came to the abrupt end that it came to. Like it was just like no segue to not having Luke Cage anymore.
Once Timecodes showed up in the episode,
we got the show Defenders, and that's the only time you're gonna see Luke Cage. I'm not about to watch this wax show. Watch the first episode where homie's hand lit up on some wax. I forget what it was. I just like
Iron Fist.
Click. No, I get it. Click.
But I kept watching it. I was like, listen, I like Moon Knight, the character already. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for this show. I'm going to watch it regardless. Mm-hmm. I kept saying to myself, I was like, if I was someone who didn't know what was going on with the show, I don't think that this episode would make me want to keep watching the show.
Gotcha.
Because like, there's a lot of stuff that's just like happening. They also like a lot of the action scenes, we don't see them because like, that's when he switches personalities
right.
And stuff like that. So like, and I feel like we're going to get later episodes where all that stuff comes back. And it's like, we're going to see what happens when the Mark persona takes over and stuff like that. But like, there was just a lot of it where I was like, this is like really messy. When he finds like the phone in the apartment, like that whole situation, I was like, this is just weird. And then like the conversation on the phone, like, I was like, they could have cut this whole scene out. Like this whole thing is crazy.
I'm confused about how many people are there.
In his personalities? How many personalities? So in the comics, he has quite a few. Like there's at least like, I think 4 in his head.
Okay. It seemed like it was like 3 of them. So it was like him as the regular person.
Yep.
The dude, Mark, and then like one other voice, which I called like the fake Venom.
So the fake Venom voice is like you know how they kept showing like that big guy with the staff.
Yeah.
That's like the moon god Khonshu that gives him the power to be Moon Knight. And it's like that's who the big voice is, and he's like, "Oh, the idiot is back."
I see him one time. I'm jumping off the building.
That brother looked crazy. There was one time where he was just like in a crowd, like,
yeah.
I was like,
what? Like, why are you standing there with that skull on your face doing a TikTok dance? Like, what is happening right now?
Not doing a TikTok dance.
It's like,
what's the one dance? This is my least favorite TikTok dance. Anytime this head thing is in there, no dance I've ever seen besides maybe the bank head bounce.
Oh man.
Like but
I enjoyed it, man. I mean, I enjoyed it enough to make me want to watch the next episode.
Okay, because like I was gonna ask you, I was like, I feel like they had mad questions, but they gave very few answers to anything.
Yeah, but I figured that's gonna come along because I was like disappointed that we didn't get to see the action scenes like you said, and it's like, is there going to be one before the end of the episode? And before the only one that was him beating up that little dog or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Then you got to actually see him standing there. He wasn't fully fitted, but he was still fitted. You know what I mean? It was just like, okay, what happens from here?
Like it looks cool.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was a weird ending as well. Like the end of the ending, I was like, oh, that's it.
And I'm gonna be tight if the next episode doesn't start from that bathroom scene. It's like, fam, so we back in the bed again with the sand around.
So if you were to take a guess, how would you, like, if someone asked you, like, what is Moon Knight about? Like, what's going on? Like, what do you got?
I'm just gonna say that it's a guy who's possessed, living a double life. One person knows about the double life and the other person does not. And they get their powers from some type of Egyptian source.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Did you get that from most of the things I've said or what the show gave you?
No, from the show.
Okay. Because like I felt like that's what it is. I'm like, if I didn't tell you these things, like would you have gotten them? Because like that's what I got that. That's how like I was trying to.
Really got me on edge though.
Ethan Hawke?
Yes.
Because I was gonna say to me he was the standout of the whole episode.
Yeah, he's about that action.
I was talking to homeboy Nick Jennings. You know, I was talking to him about it, and he was just like,
he's the real dumpling.
Like he's talking about like the scene where he breaks the glass and he puts him in his shoe.
Yeah,
and he was
they started off that way. That's what I was like. Okay, I'm here.
Because he was and like he was telling me, he was like, yo, this lets you know that this dude is really about it. Because like that thing that he's doing, usually that's like a very public thing that you do, and you show people that. The fact that he's doing that like in his own private lets you know like he's really about this. Like, is Ahmet the guy?
I don't know his name.
I think it's like Emmett or Ahmet or something like that. But it's like he's really about his action, like the scales and stuff.
I don't even know what that's about though.
The scale?
No, the glass and the shoe.
It's supposed to be some sort of like way to show like your devotion to something. Like I'll walk through broken glass for like my God type of deal.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just not like crazy. I don't disrespect.
It's just a wild thing. Like it's like, would you do it?
Huh? I
said, would you do it?
It takes some getting used to. It takes
some getting used to.
Yo, listen, man, I got some aunties that could definitely walk some glass and not even flinch and still make some grits at the same time. I mean, it's just like it takes some getting used to, man.
They come and catch a pedicure every once in a blue moon.
Yeah, listen, they're gonna be whacking that joint for a minute. Like what's that little long joint? I went and got one before. My wife took me for my birthday. It's a little cheese.
Oh, the cheese joint, yeah.
Listen. Somebody gonna mess around and get carpal tunnel trying to work their feet, man. Like, listen. But yeah, Moon Knight. I'm gonna watch second episode. I don't know exactly what day it's supposed to be coming out.
It seems like Wednesdays.
I just happened to look and it was on there, so I watched it.
It seems like Wednesdays.
Okay. All right. Cuphead is on here. Please explain.
Okay. So there's a video game called Cuphead.
Okay.
And it's based on like these 1940 cartoons. Like think about like Betty Boop and stuff like that, or like when Looney Tunes first came out, like the black and white, like the video, but you know what I'm talking about, right? So the video game, like it looks like that, like it has like that whole art style and stuff like that, and it's a really really good game, and it's known for its difficulty. Like it's a really hard game, and it's like a platformer, like kind of like a Mario. It's like you need to run around, you need to find different ways to defeat bosses and stuff like that, but it's like it's really really good. So the TV show is pretty much like, because the game was so popular, they turned it into an animated TV show.
And it's on what platform?
Netflix. It's on a Netflix show. 12 episodes. Each episode is about 12 to 15 minutes long. So it was like I breezed through all of it in like 2 hours. I think I finished it. But it was like, I thought it was going to be more of an adult type show. Cause like, so the way the video game works is there's two characters. There's Cuphead and then there's Mugman. And so when you play the game Cuphead, if you're a player 2, you're automatically Mugman, kind of like Mario and Luigi.
Okay.
Like that's what they're supposed to be, is like the Mario Luigi other verse. But in the game, you go to this carnival that like you find out is run by the devil. So like when you lose these games, you lose your soul. So what happens is,
you know, there's some type of Netflix movie coming out like that, right?
No.
It's called like Play or Die or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So Cuphead goes to this carnival, winds up winning a game. So like he doesn't have to give the devil his soul. Mm-hmm. So like in the game, like you kind of like you're going to these different carnival games, doing these different carnival rides, whatever. And then at the very end of the game is when you fight the devil, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So like the TV show starts off where like you go to the carnival and Cuphead loses, but like because Mugman is like his player 2, he winds up getting his soul back. So now the whole show is the devil trying to get Cuphead's soul from him, type of deal. But like the thing is,
escalated quickly.
But the thing is the show doesn't really have like the overarching theme. Like I said that's the thing, but like very rarely do they. To like the devil only shows up in like maybe like 3 episodes, and it's like it's real like cartoony type stuff where it's like they do like almost like a Family Feud style game show.
Is it comedy?
It's a comedy show.
Wow.
It's and that was what I was gonna say too. It's like I thought it was gonna be much more adult, but it's very much played for kids. It's definitely like a kid's.
My kid ain't watching it.
It sounds a lot crazier than it is, but it's like I'm telling you, like it's not like that at all. But like, you know, like
sounds like people dying and the devil showing up. That's enough.
But like, you know how like cartoons do it, where they do like woo and like your little spirit or whatever, and it's like that type.
You're doing a great job.
You're trying to pretend you didn't watch Tom and Jerry and that man ain't dying.
I'm not saying you're doing a great job. Continue. It's entertaining. What was that sound again? I feel like that David Buster's playing the little ghost game with the Mario Brothers on it. You're doing a great job. There you go. You're doing a great job. Continue.
So like so like I said, like it's pretty cool because like there are like as I'm watching the show, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the dude from this level. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, there's levels. It sounds so stupid like when you talk about it, because like the game in itself is pretty much stupid. It's like you're fighting like vegetables and stuff like that, but then it's like the vegetables wind up turning into a stew and they turn into like a bigger thing and stuff like that. But it's like they do it in the show, Snap. And I'm like, oh snap. I'm like, it's the carrot guy. And then I'm like, it's this guy. It's the frog boxers, like stuff like that. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, it sounds dumb because kid stuff sounds dumb.
Cuphead versus VeggieTales. This is
crazy. It really is Cuphead versus VeggieTales.
This is crazy.
But it's like, if you play the game, like you'll see like how just creative, like the bad guys are. And like, you can't beat 2 people the same way. Mm-hmm. And stuff like that. And it's like sometimes it's like you just need to avoid this person. It's kind of like Punch Out, mm-hmm. where it's like Punch Out, it's like some people you need to just avoid a certain amount of punches and then you can hit them at one point in time. Mm-hmm. Some people you need to overwhelm them. Some people you need to do this. It's like that in Cuphead as well. And it's like it's very important that you utilize your teamwork in that game like as well. So like that's what happens in the show too.
Punch Out.
Huh?
I never beat Punch Out.
Neither did I. Anybody that did, they had a cheat code. That's all I know. But I thought it was okay. Like, I watched a lot of cartoons, a lot of kids shows. Like, I wouldn't say it's like one of the best, but I was like, I didn't hate the 2 hours I was watching it. Like, I thought like, once I saw where it was going, I was like, I'm probably only gonna watch like 4 episodes of this, and I banged the whole thing out. And I was like, that was okay.
Yeah, based on your description, I'm probably never gonna watch this show.
I think you and I should try to play the game at least once, though.
On what?
Xbox. It's on all platforms. Like, it almost won Game of the Year like a couple years ago. Wow. Okay. It is a really, really good game. It's a really hard game to play.
Okay. All right. We'll figure it out one day.
All right. I feel like you look real skeptical.
Nah, I'm gonna give it a try. You my guy. If I say I'm gonna do it, bro, I had on a diabetic shirt last episode.
I'm just gonna let you know, like, I also think you're gonna play it and you're gonna be like, this takes me back to like, remember playing like the Lion King game on the Sega? Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. Like, it's gonna bring you back to all that. And I think you'll actually really enjoy the game.
Okay.
So
all right, we'll see. All right, time to step on over to the Hardwood check-in. I widely respect the fact that you were trying not to laugh while I was laughing.
The thing is, I was just like, yo, why he laughing? That was so funny.
Because there's a couple viewers who I had ran into. It was like, yo, why'd you all don't do that? no more. So I think they're gonna be super excited that you did it this time.
I didn't realize that was the type of criticism. They weren't brave enough to put it in the comments.
It wasn't criticism. They were saying they liked this.
Because usually you used to say like we're gonna cross on over or move on, and like that's what it was. And we haven't said crossover or move on, so I wasn't doing no crossovers. I was just doing a song.
All right, hey, listen.
I need the Chris Paul.
I said crossover today.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Look at you paying attention. All right. So first things first.
Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. For real.
Paul George is back.
PG return. PG-13.
Yeah.
Promptly caught that L too as he came back.
No. His first game back, they won.
But they lost last night, right?
I think they lost the next 2 games. But his game back, his first game back, he did ball out, and they did end up winning the game. Everybody in the stadium was hyped. Good to see Paul George back on the court. Still no Kawhi. I don't know what this even means, the fact that him being back.
But the Clippers have said that the door is not closed on Kawhi coming back. So like if they make a deep enough playoff run, like Kawhi could return.
Really?
Yeah.
What is his ailing moment right now?
I want to say he tore something. I don't know if it was his ACL, but he definitely tore something because he's been out for almost 2 years now, right? Or a year or some change.
It's been a little minute. It has been a little minute.
But like
you caught that Paul George.
It'll do that. He spent too much time around somebody.
Right. Wake up like, man, my knees feel broken.
Jesus. I don't think enough credit. Like I've never been the biggest fan of Tyronn Lue as a coach, right?
Okay.
But then like the job that he's done this year with this Clippers team to keep them in the playoff hunt, like it has to be like much more respected than what it is. Like he's still like, I'm pretty sure the Clippers are not very far off from like.
Why are you not big on Tyronn Lue?
I just never thought he was that great of a coach. Like especially
this is
like
only his second team, right?
Third team.
Where was he at before Cleveland?
No, somewhere after Cleveland, he was coaching somewhere, and then he was like an assistant coach in Boston forever.
I remember that.
I really like. There's a team I'm drawing a blank on.
Okay, continue.
But this Clippers team is like hanging in there with like the Mavericks, and they have like a Luka Doncic, and it's like they're literally playing with like Norman Powell and stuff like that, and like Serge Ibaka is not on that team no more. But it's like they're playing with like bit pieces, and like they're above the Lakers. Like just put it like that. Like you look. But what I'm saying is like
there's 9 other teams above the Lakers.
There's 10 teams above the Lakers because the Lakers are now the 11th seed and they're out of the play-in game right now because they lost to the Spurs.
I did see a tweet or something from LeBron.
We'll get to Lakers. Okay. Let's not stomp on the Clippers with Lakers talk.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they're playing with bit pieces, and it's like they're hanging. They've been hanging in the Western Conference, so it's like I have to. If they do, like they got Paul George back, if they're able to get Kawhi Leonard back, like I would be pretty scared of this team. Like you know what I mean? It's like you're not worried about him. Why not?
Because they got like, all right. So this is how I feel about a lot of sports. Like you have to be hitting a certain stride when it's coming playoff time. Like you got to gear up and be ready to make that mental switch to know like this. All right, this is win or go home. We really got to play our best. And like all the time to practice and do that is during those last few games of the regular season. And if you have to spend the first round or second round of the playoffs working out those kinks, more than likely you're going to have a good run that's going to come up short. Do I think that they can compete? Yes, but as far as like being scared, like I don't see what's so fearful about the Clippers.
But I think that's all I'm saying is like one, they've been playing great defense, and I think they're one of like the 6 or 7 best defensive teams like in the league.
Okay,
and it's like Reggie Jackson, like they're for some reason like they're scoring like 112 points a game without Paul George or Kawhi Leonard, and now here comes Paul George, and it's just like my thing is like
some nights I can't tell the difference between Reggie Jackson and Patrick Beverly.
No, not at all. But like I think like the main thing is just when especially in the playoffs, matchups matter, number one.
Okay, and
then also like you have to be able to know who these teams are. Like not only do you need to know who yourself is, you need to know like when we're playing the Nuggets. Like Jokic is going to be the one with the ball all the time. And like, we have to watch backdoor screens and we have to do this. We have to do that. When you are used to playing this team a certain way, and then all of a sudden they're adding X factors that are as big as Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. It's like, these are a lot of things where it's like, you just can't be prepared for that.
Right.
As much as they having to adjust offensively, like defensively, like you're just like, I don't know what I'm getting. Like I assume this is what Kawhi's gonna do, but then it's like you don't know what he's been practicing or like what's in his bag. Paul George, stuff like that. Like I think that's been the hardest thing defending the Clippers is because Paul George hasn't been there. You don't know where the shots are coming from because they have been giving the shot to whoever the open man is.
Right.
Granted, Reggie Jackson probably takes the most shots on the team. But like that's the only thing that I'm saying is like if I'm the Suns, I'm not worried. If I'm the Warriors, I'm not worried. But if I'm
Memphis, I'm not worried either.
If I'm Dallas, am I a little worried? If I'm Denver, am I a little worried? Am I Utah? Am I a little worried?
No.
I'm just saying, like they're unpredictable, and it's like this is definitely a team you don't want to lose to. Like you lost in the first round to this
Kawhi's
team.
not even taking shots yet, right? Because you know how guys be injured, but they be like getting a little pregame on. He hasn't even started pregaming.
No, he's not.
Yeah, and there's like what 3 games left in the regular season?
5.
Yeah. I'm not. I'm sold.
Granted, I can't stand the Clippers, and I really honestly don't care about this team. But I feel like that's just some stuff that
you can't stand the Clippers.
I've just never been a big fan of the Clippers. Like I feel like the jerseys are ugly.
I understand not being a big fan. You say you can't stand them. Like it was something.
They annoy me. Like, and the thing is, like, I really, really, really like Chris Paul. When he was on the Clippers, he annoyed the shit out of me. Like I could like for some reason, like I was just like, he has
that jersey on.
I don't know if it's his ugly jerseys that they used to wear. Even like Blake Griffin when he first came in was like amazing. And then like 2 or 3 years after, I was like, oh, Blake Griffin is annoying. DeAndre Jordan, annoying. Like I'm Dookie, JJ Redick. He got annoying. Like everybody, I was like, man. And it was like, they act like your team has been butt cheeks its entire existence. And then like you guys made the Western Conference Finals one time and then you thought you were top dogs. Hey. Like you guys thought like you should be like a historic 2K team.
New team in LA.
Right. And then like, I don't like Kawhi Leonard. So like, that doesn't help. I don't like Paul George. So
Billy
like
Crystal, come on the show whenever you want. We'll be your guest.
I was like, but Paul George, Patrick Beverley was on the team. Couldn't stand Patrick Beverley. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just always seems to have a bunch of guys that I don't. Luke Kennard, former Piston. Like Luke Kennard annoys me. Like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
DeAndre, he caught a lot of bodies on that team.
I never could stand DeAndre Jordan like that. Especially since he baptized my boy Brandon Knight. Like that was kind of crazy. But it was like
DeAndre he made the face when he walked away. Like
people were like, "Oh, DeAndre Jordan," and he's like just as good as Dwight Howard. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like stuff like that. Like used to drive me nuts.
Looks the same once he stopped playing with CP.
Because that's what he does. Because he had him looking like he was Tyson Chandler, which he wasn't. But like, we can move on up because like there was a big game that took place.
Yes,
2 big games that took place.
So I'll start with the first one.
Yep.
Giannis and the Bucs take on KD, Kyrie, and the Nets. I believe it was in Brooklyn.
Yep.
Another one of Kyrie's debuts. I'm just kidding. It's another home game for Kyrie. It was a really good game. Went into overtime.
I feel like everybody keeps
almost went into double overtime.
I feel like everybody keeps listening to me when I'm talking, and they keep taking my stuff and they keep flying with it. Are we all ready to hop on this Giannis train with me yet? Like, what more does this man Giannis have to do?
He did hit the 3 to force overtime,
and he hit the free throws.
And he hit the free throws to win the game.
And he was playing D on Kevin Durant for the last like 4 minutes. KD,
and he passed Kareem for the most points scored by a Milwaukee Buck.
What more does he
all
have to
in
do?
the same night?
This guy is
the same night.
This is what I'm talking about. Is like how.
And
good,
there was a couple times he guarded Kyrie as well.
This guy is like when I'm talking about stuff like about generations, like in LeBron's generation, like Giannis is maybe like the 4th or 5th best guy, and he's insane. Like you try to tell me that like Giannis wouldn't do better than like a Karl Malone or Charles Barkley. Like I'm just saying,
I would take Giannis over Karl. I'm not taking him over Charles.
Even though Charles was 6'4" and Giannis is like 7 feet stout.
I'm taking Giannis over Karl. I'm not taking him over Charles.
I'm just saying, and Charles Barkley is one of my like 4 or 5 favorite players of all time.
Taking Giannis over Karl, not over Charles.
Okay. Karl Malone was probably the 2nd or 3rd best player of Michael Jordan's generation. I'm just saying that Giannis is like.
He also had a little Caucasian CP3 chilling with him. So I'm just saying, let's not get too far off base. All right.
Are we saying that like CP3 is the black John Stockton? Is that what you're going with?
No, I said John Stockton is the white CP3.
I'm just saying it sounds like tomato, potato. I'm just saying.
Nope.
But like
I was about to say something crazy. I'm not gonna say it. I'm about to put this tab right here. Remind me to say something crazy when we stop filming. I'm not gonna say it now.
I'm curious as to how this mechanical pencil is gonna help me remember that.
I don't know, but it will. It will.
This ain't Moon Knight, bro. Like, I'm putting stuff out to help you remember. I don't know how that works. But yeah, so Giannis, like, I don't want to say he showed up KD because KD balled out as well. But like, brother had like a almost 40-point triple double on Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. It's just like, yo, man. I feel like
and he was not shooting well from the free throw line, but he made the free throws that counted, which was crazy.
And then
what's old boy's name? Claxton?
Yep, Nick Claxton.
I think he missed like 3-4 free throws, and you lose the game by what? 1-2 points? Like,
I want to say it was 1 point. I want to say it was a 1 point dub.
I thought it was 2. Because I think KD was shooting a shot to tie the game.
You might be correct.
And they came with the double team, and he couldn't get the shot off or something like that. But yeah, the Bucs, they told him we the champs and we the team to beat.
You want to do a rewind 2 nights before, Giannis plays another MVP candidate, Joel Embiid, the 76ers, has the game-winning block on Joel Embiid to end the game. And like, I'm just saying, and like, this is before the Nets game. I'm just like, this is what I've been trying to tell people about Giannis.
You know what's crazy? Giannis is doing this super disrespectful, super competitive stuff to people. And the first thing he does is goes up to the person he did it to and gives him a hug. Like, hey, man, good game.
Yo, like, I'm telling man, you starting a franchise. Like, you trying to tell me that Giannis isn't the guy?
You want to go to Chick-fil-A with me? That's genuine
right there.
Oh, yes, I got one.
But like, you try to tell me that Giannis isn't the guy you want to start your franchise with? First of all, he's a solid role model. He's an amazing teammate. He's an amazing basketball player.
I wouldn't mind starting a franchise with Giannis.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the easy question. Do I want to start a franchise with Giannis? Yes.
Over KD?
No.
I'm just saying, like, KD be pouting. He be like putting teammates under the bus. That's not Giannis. Giannis be like, no, come with me. We are all friends here.
That's what's up.
I like how I turned him into the Black Panther.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I know what he does. I know what Giannis does. I never freeze. that's all I gotta say.
Come with me. I show you the way.
Wow, he turned him into Uganda.
No, Giannis, he has my respect.
Did his play this last week change your thoughts on MVP race at all?
I don't think I had any thoughts change about MVP. I always had him third.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Is like, do you move him up? Do you move him down? Like, he just played Joel Embiid, the guy
he
got number 2.
He did,
and he did. I don't want to say he tore him up, but it was just like
he did playing very MVP fashion to convince me that he could be fighting for that second.
I do have some numbers for you if you want if you want me to dive into the top 3 guys.
Nope. Because I know how you are with numbers. We mess around, be here for 20 minutes on Giannis numbers.
You're definitely right about that. But I will say this.
But I believe you. Like I said, it does make the competition for MVP look real crazy right now.
And who do you have number 1?
At this point, I really don't know, man. Because like the Joker is like has been there considerably the number 1, but he has been fizzling out a little bit. And then, but he did take the time to get rid of Embiid when they had their matchup, and now Giannis took care of Embiid. It's like, I don't know, man. Do the Bucs play the Nuggets again for the end of the season?
No.
Man, that sucks. So it would have to come down to whatever has happened in this last week.
Kind of.
Sheesh. I need to look at the schedules. I need to see who they play, how it looks when they play. That's gonna be major.
All I want to say is
Joel Embiid has definitely fallen off.
Jokic is the only player.
Is it the James Harden effect? Sheesh.
He's the only player that's in the top 10 in scoring, rebounding, PER, and assist in the NBA.
Cool.
Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
He is 8th in the league in assists, 10 in the league in scoring, and like 2nd in rebounding. And I think he's like 3rd or 4th in field goal percentage.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this brother is stupid. Crazy. And he's doing it with no Jamal Murray, no Michael Porter Jr.
And Jamal Murray will be back for playoffs. That is crazy.
Who wants to see these Nuggets in the playoffs?
Yo, listen.
Honestly,
Jamal Murray step on the court with them neon sneakers and shooting threes and dunking the ball, man.
Honestly,
and it just frees up Jokic that much more. Oh my goodness.
If I was the Warriors, I would be trying to avoid the Nuggets as much as possible.
Yes.
Because what do the Warriors have the biggest problem with? Big men who could score points and stuff like that. And it's like
Draymond Green. Wiseman's out for the year.
Yeah. Draymond Green wants no smoke with Jokic in a playoff run. Because he will definitely slow that pace down. He would definitely have them be backward.
Yeah. And Draymond coming back, he's been on some weird stuff, almost like he's trying to get ejected from games on purpose. But
have you seen his stat lines?
Yeah.
This brother been averaging like 4 points, but like 12 rebounds, like 8 assists, like 9 steals. I'm like, yo, whose numbers are these? So he really does not care about scoring that ball.
LA Fitness Rookie Player of the Year / MVP.
Like it's crazy. Like I'm like, yo, this brother is like
the most random numbers that really make a difference.
I feel like they pass the ball, he immediately passes it back. Like, what are you doing, bro? You know I don't score. Give me the assist numbers up. Stop playing with me.
Shoot the ball so I can get this rebound and a putback. But all right.
I feel like we don't dive into this often. But now we going into the college hoops. And I feel like we need to.
College hoops?
I mean, we watch it, but we don't have been talking about it.
You're right.
And I feel like the only reason we need to talk about it is because this very important matchup that's coming on today at 8 o'clock, I believe.
Yep.
Is Duke and North Carolina.
And you're a Duke fan, so we know who you're picking.
Come on now. What side are you on?
I'm going North Carolina, bro.
So
that backcourt is crazy, bro. Them two young boys, like the way they who was it that they just played?
Much about St. Peter's, right?
No.
Because they took out St. Peter.
No, wasn't it Arkansas? It was red jerseys. It wasn't St. Peter's.
Yeah, I haven't been
forgetting who it was, but they were going for the whole first half. It was neck and neck. I think North Carolina might have actually been losing by 4 at halftime.
Okay.
And they came out second half and were just like, I just want you to know, bro, we play basketball out here. and it was just like, it was in a matter of time, they was up a dub, and it was just like the coach was about to sit down. It was like, yo, it's different over here. Like, it almost gave me like a reminiscent feeling of like how much I hated watching the Bulls and having that first half of like, yo, they could really lose. And then they came out second half, 30-piece on your neck, like 20-piece on your neck.
Let's just have Scotty and Mike full court press these point guards.
Like I said, I can't remember the kids' names, but both guards, like, not only are they making clutch shots, but like a lot of these kids are filled with so much emotion, and they're like the moment is so big. Like when these things are happening, they're screaming and they're yelling and all this other. Like the kids from North Carolina is just like, bro, this is my job. This is what I'm here to do, and they are consistently doing it. And they're looking at people like, bro, you don't know who I am. Like this is what I do. Like that's where you get the term the Cinderella moments, because people were out here doing stuff that people aren't expecting them to do, but they're doing it. North Carolina's like, nah, man, punching in the clock, bro.
Pretenders.
Yeah, like punching in the clock, bro. So I mean, I do like Duke because the homie Van Carroll is balling. Who's the other dude that looked like a taller Jimmy Butler? He got the little fro. He played. Yeah.
Jalen, no. Taller Jimmy Butler.
Yeah. Maybe I'm being a little off kilter with that, but
I'll say because you got me.
He got the little fro. He definitely plays like a dog though. He's on the wing, but he also plays strongly defensively. Like they got a nice little squad, man. It's just, like if you're thinking about like size and versatility, you got to go Duke. But like if you're like that backcourt,
North Carolina has the better prospects.
Yeah, man. So it's gonna be exciting to watch.
Well, not only that, but there's so much pressure on it also because this is Coach K's final season. The Duke's biggest rival is North Carolina. I don't know if you knew this, but this will be the 100th time Coach K has played North Carolina.
What's his record?
50-49.
No, don't
say. I tell you.
You can't write this.
You can't write it. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
goodness, man. This is that stuff that be happening. This is scripted.
In his final game,
scripted.
If he wins, like it'll solidify that like he's got it, he's going. And
even if he loses, he still finishes at 500. It's a win-win situation. But it's not because you lose and.
But he could never be like I dominated everybody, because then like you didn't dominate North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina. Right.
And then it's like
if you do go up 2 games, you didn't dominate North Carolina, you just beat them.
Yeah, I was better than them. That's all I can say. Yeah. Like if we played out of 100 times, I beat you 50.
That do make kids play different though, because then you become part of that legacy, and every time they tell the Coach K legacy, you have to be involved in that. Like
you don't want to be the Duke kids that went out with Coach K's on an L.
Right.
Because like that's the thing is like, so we're in the Final Four. So if he wins this, now he's in the national championship game. And like, does Coach K go out on a championship?
Listen,
because who's the other games? Villanova and is it West Virginia? Am I tripping?
I couldn't tell you.
But that's how big this game is. Is like we're in the Final Four and we don't even know what the other game is.
Right.
Which I'm pretty sure it's getting ready to start right now. So I think it starts at 5:30.
You might be right.
But like it's
end of the show. No, I'm just kidding.
But it's just crazy, like all the stuff that's on this game now. Do you have any, like, I guess we can save our Coach K thoughts for, like, either if he loses or if he wins, and, like, we kind of go in on that.
I've been watching Duke stories all week, man.
Do you want to make a bet on this game?
Nope.
You sure?
Yep.
Because we didn't go to the gym this morning.
I know there's one thing that one Duke story I'm tired of hearing.
What's that?
That darn Christian Laettner story.
Oh, yeah.
I am so
As a
tired
Duke
of being
fan, I'm tired of hearing
that
about the
joint.
Christian
Like,
Laettner
that
story.
joint, like, bro, Grant Hill was on that team, in case y'all forgot.
Grant Hill threw that pass.
Grant Hill, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like, come on, man. Man, make this one shot, goes to get a gold medal.
Well, let's
turns into Luke Walton.
All right, let's not go down there, because like all college players will tell you too. Like Christian Laettner was no joke at that time.
Yeah,
even Chris Webber didn't want no smoke with Christian Laettner.
I heard Jalen Rose talk about it
when he called Grant Hill Uncle Tom.
Huh?
When he called Grant Hill Uncle Tom, which that's not exactly what he said. He said, I used to think that Grant Hill was an Uncle Tom, and people took it and ran with it the other way and stuff like that, which is why it's important to get context and get the whole quote.
Factual.
So you sure you don't want to make a bet on this? Because like we were supposed to have our bet this morning about you touching this backboard.
Oh, so update on that.
Well, yeah, give me an update.
Gonna need a little bit of time.
No, you said that you could do it ASAP.
So this is where the problem lies, okay? I also had another wager with a gentleman that I work with, and we played a one-on-one basketball game. Loser has to shave his head. Up to 11, no twos, all ones.
That sounds awful.
Yes. Loser has to shave his head.
Okay. Did you play?
Yes, we played on Friday.
Oh, so you won.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So like I thought this was an upcoming game. Like
No. The thing is that I didn't realize how much gas was not left in these.
This is the whole point. No, you have to either you're jumping and you're gonna try and go for it, or you gotta pay me my money.
No, listen.
You're not getting more time, bro.
Listen, I'm not saying that I don't think I can do it. I'm just saying, given my current state after playing this basketball game.
That would be like me being like, oh, like let me lose 30 pounds real quick and then.
No, I'm not asking to lose no weight. I'm just asking for a little bit of leisure time for my knee. Bro, I just played a one-on-one game. Mind you, I only won by one.
Before the next spot,
10 to 11.
Before the next spot,
that's fine. That's more than enough time. I just need some time to Epsom salt again and get back right.
Or tomorrow.
So I can get my. All right.
When you were playing, did you Did you be like, oh, like I'm right there?
Yeah.
Where'd you guys play at?
At the school.
It's not the same hoops. I played at that school too. Like
those hoops are higher.
Nah. No, you're good. I'll see you on Tuesday. Before the pod, we'll do it. What much you got? We'll link up.
All right, that's what's up. I'm with it.
When you get out of work, I'll meet you at LA to what you call do it.
Okay.
All right,
I'm with it, man. Let's get it, man. You about to use it, but all right. Well, we might as well get into some home cooking.
All right. I'm about to cough. Hold up. Actually, I lost it.
Choke on a theme song.
I'm coming home again. Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then? Cause I'm coming home again. It's time for some home cooking. Whipping nasty and no raisin. What was that clap, bro?
Yesterday is so amazing.
What was that clap, bro? That clap was all types of R&B.
Hey, listen.
Yo, I was like, this man's trying to mess me up on purpose. Because I'm talking about his knees right now.
Listen, I don't know.
All I know is on Tuesday, I better not hear, yo, it was a long day at work, my brother. I don't want to hear nothing. So yo, we got 4 restraints today.
I'm on my feet all day. Oh, if you only knew.
Home cooking.
Home cooking. So I don't know if you know, in latest news. They have reached a decision in the Nathan Bell case. No. Do you know about the Nathan Bell case?
I do. I know a couple people that were involved in the Nathan Bell case. So.
Wow, really?
So yeah, I don't want to speak too much on it.
Yeah, I won't speak too much on it either. But just to give you an understanding, there was the Nathan Bell is like a bar type / eatery.
It is mostly a bar.
Yeah, 4 black males were at the bar. There was some misunderstanding about how someone addressed someone, and it led to those young men getting jumped down the road from the bar when they left by off-duty police officers.
Because that's the main thing you forgot. It's like it's a bar that is pretty, like it's a cop bar.
It's a cop bar.
But for the most part, like that's where all the cops go to blow off steam.
Right. If you pulled up to it, Nathan Bell is in green. It's got the clovers around it. your typical
Island Pond Road.
Yeah. So I do think there was a financial compensation in this.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it was or what the amount was, but basically, I didn't even realize it's been 7 years since this has happened.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been some time. So, two of the officers were found guilty, two were found not guilty. So, the two gentlemen that were found not guilty, I believe there's going to be another hearing in regards to like if they can be reinstated to the force because
Okay.
they want to be cops again. I don't see how that's possible. Even if you had a limited amount of involvement in this, as far as just watching, you still did not do anything to stop it, and you are a peacekeeper. So, that's my piece on that.
I think the big, I don't know how much to speak up, but like I think the big thing about it is there was apparently a huge cover-up attempt with it.
There was
And
that's what I was
that's what
going to
it
get
was.
to. So there, mind you, it was being investigated by FBI and police, and several police officers had submitted false reports to try to cover for what had happened. And I think a couple of people that work at the bar did the same thing as well. Definitely should have been a do the right thing Mookie moment, but it is what it is. So on the 8th, they will decide sentencing on the two police officers that were found guilty. So it doesn't automatically mean jail time. I did not look up the charges, but I know they weren't found guilty on all the charges.
Okay.
So it was guilty on some, acquitted on others, and then they will be like sentencing on the 8th. So it could be jail time, it could be suspension without pay, it could be a number of different things, but we will find out in a week. I do know that one of the officers almost passed out when he heard the verdict. It was just like the other cop was trying to catch, like the cop that wasn't guilty, like was trying to catch him. Was like, hey, bro.
It's like what was the boy with the crime? Was that Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yeah,
like kind of like that type of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it was like he went to fall out and nobody went to catch him. He was like, oh, I'm standing again. And then when his homie caught him, he was like, oh, and then he sat.
Now I can let go of all my weight.
Right. It's just like, bro, you had 7 years to get ready for this. Like, you should have thought about that in the 7 minutes that you made that terrible decision. I don't know any of these gentlemen personally. The mayor did speak that they were trying to make sure that they held true to the rights of the people and making sure that they're making the best decision. And I guess we'll find out how that looks on the 8th.
Okay, to the 8th we go.
There you go. All right. We'll smooth on away from that and get all over to the Blitz package.
Man, get out my way. Watch out as I come through. Man, get out my way. Watch out as I come through. Busting in your line, cracking numbers in two. When I bring the pain, then what you gonna do? Yo. We harder than hard, rougher than rough. Rah!
Yo, I can't lie to you. I almost tried to sing the song to bring the same energy because that felt so crazy. And I want to apologize if you ever feel like I'm not matching your energy on this show. Because when you did that, I was like, are you serious right now? Like, yo, you better get your act together, man. Yo, finish the rest of it, man.
Clean out your locker. I'm out to get you. What you want? The rock in the palm of my hand. Or what you got? I got John Madden.
All right. Don't ever do that again. Sorry. Don't be sorry. Be careful. All right. It's only 3 topics here, but they are 3.
Light off-season news.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty big.
It's pretty much all receiver news, isn't it, too, right?
Yeah.
Wide receivers making the news.
They try and find people for these quarterbacks to throw the ball to. You can have whoever you want. If ain't nobody to catch the ball, then.
I mean, and the first team is really desperate for someone to throw the ball to.
Right. So Odel went to the Packers. He's a sucker. He's a straight sucker for that.
But he was trying to go there.
No.
You're right.
No, he's a straight sucker for that. You either stay with the Rams or you go somewhere and build something new, man. And that place is not Green Bay. And the only reason I say that is because Devontae was heavily asking that man or recruiting that man to come over to the Packers. And that man was like, it's between the Packers and the Rams. And then he decided to go with the Rams and then hit Devontae with like, oh yeah, when we play, we gotta do this jersey swap. And Devontae was like, if you want to swap jerseys, you could have just came over here and played with me. I'm all set with that. You know what I mean? So
and then that brother left.
And right. I mean, but yeah, he left on terms because his quarterback did him dirty. Like, I don't understand why Odell leaves, even if you have to take a pay cut, bro. Like, they just signed Bobby Wagner, bro. Why would you not stay on this team?
From my understanding, though, like the Packers gave him like quite a bit of money. I think he got like either a 2-year or a 3-year deal, and it was like $10 million a year. And I don't think anybody else was giving him anything close to that. So like, I think everybody else was
I don't think anybody else is giving him another chance at a Super Bowl either.
That's true, but I think what it is like he's also going to be injured for the beginning of the season. Like he got hurt in the Super Bowl. He was hurt before the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Played in the Super Bowl. Got hurt in the Super Bowl, and he's going to miss like quite a few games next year. Like I think he's going to miss like 6-7 games.
All right, so you want to miss 7 games on a Super Bowl team, or 7th game on the Packers?
I think. Are you going to pay me $7 million while I don't play, or are you going to pay me $4 million while I don't play?
So, are you willing to forfeit $3 million to become a Super Bowl champion again?
I don't know if I am. If I already got a ring,
I don't know, man. I done played a good lengthy time in the league. I think I don't have a problem with taking $7 million to be able to compete for another Super Bowl.
I mean, but then people do the opposite.
We had a question like that before. Didn't we have a question like that before?
No, it was just a question I asked you personally.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah, and it's kind of like peace of mind, right?
Yeah.
So do you like literally? Odell's literally been screaming about being on the right team to compete for a Super Bowl. He literally cried when the team won, and now you're on the team that you literally have strived to be on your entire career, and then you leave that team for money.
Seasons change and reasons change, man. Like things happen. Like circumstances change. Like I said, like he's hurt now. So like maybe he knows something that we don't know about like, yo, I'm not going to be the same after this injury. Like this one feels a lot different. He's been pretty injury prone the last 4 years, pretty much since he got to his last year in New York. And it's just like, this is easily the best quarterback he's ever played with.
New York breaks a lot of football players. Continue.
Yeah. Jersey too. But like, yeah, like I just think I'm not mad at him, but it's just like,
nah, me
either. I'm gonna collect this check, do my rehab, and then maybe ball out. Aaron Rodgers is probably either gonna retire or force his way out to somewhere else, and then it's like I'll be on my way too. Because the NFL stands for not for long, like, and they're also just like the no fun league, and they don't care about these guys. So like, no matter where he went, if the rehab didn't go the way that they saw that he was going to go, they're probably just going to cut him. He was going to see that money anyway. So like go somewhere that's going to give you the guaranteed money. And if he really wants to, he knows he can force his way out and then he'll go to where he actually wants to go.
Okay. We'll see. I'm off of it.
You're just off of Odell in general, or you're just off of Green Bay?
Green Bay. Okay. You get rid of 17 players and pick up one and you think things are different. Y'all about to be terrible.
But the NFC looks terrible. Like I said before, it's like, I think they're just, like the 3 best teams in the NFC are the Packers, the Bucs, and the Rams.
And speaking of the Bucs, good segue.
Thank you.
Of course, as we knew it was going to happen,
we called it.
This man Edelman signed with the Bucs. Of course, you know what I mean. Just went and put some creamer in the slot receiver that you had that was doing cartwheels in the back of the end zone. Not to say that they're the same caliber of player, but Edelman has a great relationship with Tom Brady. He has certified himself as being legit on the field in between the hashes, I guess, in that little dink and dunk short route game. He doesn't mind mixing it up and taking tackles in order to make a catch for a first down. And I think it is exactly what the Bucs needed after losing Antonio Brown.
And also not having Chris Godwin for the beginning of the year as well, because he tore
his
ACL.
Didn't they lose Ronald Jones too?
Yep, they lost Ronald Jones.
Which is also a receiving running back.
Yeah. Yeah, Leonard Fournette, like he does all that anyways.
Yeah, but he's not.
Ronald Jones is the better one.
Right. Like you could put Ronald Jones in the slot and he can run routes and catch the ball. Leonard Fournette's not doing that.
They also signed Russell Gage from the Falcons.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they signed it maybe a month ago.
I didn't know that.
So it's like all they're doing is just like, Tom Brady, we're glad you came back. Here's some weapons. Because I do think that one of the reasons Tom Brady retired as well is he didn't want to play in Tampa Bay anymore. Like he saw their cap situation. He saw the other stuff happen. It was just like, how can I finagle bagel and get up out here and go to another team? Right. Which I thought that team was going to be the San Francisco 49ers.
Cap or fact? Bruce Arians retired?
Bruce Arians did retire.
So it is fact.
And Todd Bowles is the new coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So I think maybe there really was bad blood between Tom and Bruce?
I think that there was.
Wow.
I think that there was.
And I saw it. I think I saw it yesterday.
So you saw it on April Fool's Day?
Right. So it's just like, all right, this ain't really that real. I think somebody sent it to me on Instagram or something like that. I was just like, I don't think this real. Even the clip of it, like, you know how clips be looking sketchy, like looked like this was fan made or something
like his
that.
Press conference that he did.
Right, and you go to the website or something. It's like super duper Buck fan. It's like this is not
where you get all your Raider stuff rumors from.
Yo, chill. Yeah, I got Devontae from there. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I think that's another thing that they told Tom Brady beforehand, because I'm pretty sure Tom Brady was like, I'm not trying to.
Oh, you think he moving muscle like that?
I just think that he was like, yo, listen, I'm gonna retire, and then like they kind of did, and then like
they made their choice.
Like he was kind of like, I'm gonna come out of retirement, but like, how do I get my way to another team? And I think he went to the Bucs first. And was like, listen, I'm thinking about coming back. I don't know about being on here. Like I don't like the way that things are going with Bruce. And they were just like, listen, what if we told you Bruce might be on his way out and Todd might be the coach? And he was like, I could deal with Todd as a coach. He's like, what if we went and we got you, you know, something a little bit more comfortable with? We got you a Julian Edelman. He's like, I do like my man Julian. And they were just like
playing catch the other day. Had his red gloves on.
So I'm saying, and I think whatchamacallit, like that's all it took for Tom Brady to come back. I just think it was real crazy, like the way that whole Tom Brady unretirement thing happened.
Freaking New England Bucs.
Yeah. And it's like, let me ask you this. Julian Edelman, Hall of Famer?
He's a Super Bowl champion.
I mean, but so is like Deion Branch. What does that mean?
Deion Branch should have been a Hall of Famer. He won that Super Bowl.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
He was MVP of the game. They gave him a truck, a ton of money, and then shipped him out. Yeah. They don't like playing brothers over there in New England, man.
Yo, I'm so glad that you said that they don't like to play brothers over there, right? So yesterday, he's gonna hate
Blue Mountain over there.
He's gonna hate that I'm telling
run this ball all the time. And they let this man throw the touchdown when we get inside the 10. I ain't never gonna get recruited. My bad. Go ahead.
He's gonna hate that I'm gonna bring up this story. Cool. So yesterday, my brother comes home.
Okay.
And it's like he's just downloading that information on me. He's like, hey, like this happened. And then he was like, yo, Kaepernick stuff is crazy. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, all those teams are looking at him and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that is kind of crazy. But I was like, you know how that goes. And he was just like, man, who would have thought? The Patriots, though. And I was like, what? And he's just like, yeah, he signed with the Patriots today for 3 years. And I was like,
or cap?
Like Colin Kaepernick.
No, I'm saying K with a cap or C with a cap.
So I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, I saw like earlier that he signed with the New England Patriots. I was like, bro, you know today's April Fool's Day, right?
I know.
He was like, he's like, yo, are you for real? Yo. And I was like, bro, if there's one team Colin Kaepernick's not going to, it's the New England Patriots.
Ever.
But like, yo, that joint had me tickled for like a good 45 minutes. I was like, yo, this brother thought Colin Kaepernick got signed. Right. But that was the thing is when
it's like Belichick coaching the Cucamonga Cracker Killers. Like, it's not about to happen, bro.
He did have Cam.
Let's see what happened to Cam, right?
Moving on to other news.
Right,
Speaking of the New England Patriots, as you like to talk about my segues.
Oh my goodness.
They completed a trade today with my boys, the Miami Dolphins. The New England Patriots traded a third-round draft pick to the Miami Dolphins for wide receiver Devontae Parker and a fifth-round draft pick.
How do they always get picks out of people?
They gave up a third,
fifth or a sixth.
But they gave up a third
for Devontae Parker.
I think you could have it. I was like all day. I was like, listen, we got Tariq over here, we got Jalen Waddle over here, like we got Gesicki over here, whatever else is going on, we'll figure it out. We got Mostert, we got Chase Edmonds. Like, you know, we don't like Devontae Parker at this point in time is like an $8 million a year possession receiver. It's like, who needs that?
Right.
I think
clearly the Patriots.
Yeah, have you seen the Patriots receiver core? It's like Jacoby Myers and Nelson Aguilar and you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, absolutely. Najee Harris, or not Najee Harris, N'Keal Harry.
Have you ever seen the Philly news broadcast?
He's like catching baby, he's like catching babies, unlike Nelson Aguilar.
I will never forget that.
Then he proceeded to go to the
That dude needs to go to the Hall of Fame just for that.
They make sure anytime that Aguilar has a bad game, they play that clip on Twitter every time.
Terrible. He's catching babies left and right.
But the thing is, like, this man literally saved lives from a fire.
Yes.
And he's telling the story about how he saved lives from fire and just couldn't help himself being like,
those children are alive today because he caught them out of a burning building and he still took the time to take a shot at Nelson.
Yeah. Philly fans are different, bro. They different breed.
Philly fans. At the same time I saved a life, I'm tearing a life apart.
These are the people who threw snowballs at Santa Claus. So they're like, yo, Philly fans do not care, boy.
That is crazy.
I did have a Philly fan earlier this year try to talk to me crazy as a Dolphins fan and stuff like that. And he was like, when's the last time y'all won? I was like, you guys are real bold right now because, like, you're one of the oldest NFL franchises. Y'all got one ring, and you want to come and talk spicy. And I was like, yeah, we have a better record than you this year. He was just like, they got that ring, though. And I was like, oh, man, Nick Foles over here got y'all feeling different.
Oh, my
The
goodness.
Philly special.
Right.
Shut your ass
Meat
up.
comes home, y'all play his music in the locker room, and now y'all different.
I got to hear, hold up, wait a minute. When they played at the end of that Fresh Prince, though, I was like, yeah.
Yep.
They didn't get to the hype part,
Which
though.
is a callback because they started this show with the same song.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. All right, I mean, I think, yeah, that's it for the Blitz, man.
Okay.
Time to get over to this heavyweight lovers.
Let's go. What you won't do for love. You tried everything.
Did you, though?
But you won't give up.
Were you not? All right, so it's my week.
It is your week. I feel like you were dumb close. So I feel like you were like,
that depth perception
That
got
was
you
crazy.
on my cheek. Chill out. But yeah, so not purposely, but I see how this happened. It's kind of been a progression in the whole marriage situation and just like how you have conversations, like not going to bed angry. So today I want to get to like that really deep part of like, what do you do when you feel like things are beyond repair? So like you've done the conversations, you tried that, it hasn't been working. You've been going to bed angry even though you're not supposed to, and it's like you really feel like, and there are like those really tough times in a marriage where you feel like, you know what, do I need to start considering my life and how it will be not with this person?
Okay.
You know, and
so just so we're clear, the angle that we're taking on this is not the signs to know like what to do when everything is done, but just like you're at the point now where you've come to realize that everything is done, and where do you move from here?
Yes.
Okay.
What to do when you feel like things are beyond repair.
Got you.
So
I just want to make sure what headspace I'm in.
Got you. So and I have talked to my wife, you know, about my vulnerability in these situations. And when we talk, she goes, you know what? You did a good job on the show. You can continue to share, you know, because I do check in with my wife. I'm just not out here spilling beans and then going to my wife and be like, hey, did you watch the pod today?
I'm pretty sure that's one of the main reasons that she actually checks in. Like, let me see what this man that talked about our relationship.
Right.
Yeah. I got to G-check this man.
We got the timestamps. I go in the living room. She'd be like, what you doing? Watching the show? She'd be like,
scroll right over here to see
boom, I know heavyweight levers right at the end.
I just wanted to make sure I know where you're sleeping tonight.
Right. And if I'm going to bed angry. But no, so the first thing I will start with is if the relationship does matter and you are still in love, then there's never a point to where you feel like it should be beyond repair. I'll start there.
Okay.
But there are or will be moments where you feel like you have done everything and there's nothing left to do. And in those moments, you have to understand that you could be giving away the thing that matters to you most for a couple isolated situations. And if you take the time to think of all the good that has happened to make you want to marry this person and spend the rest of your life with this person, does that outweigh the little small things that could be painful, could be hurtful, and could be things that you really need to reconsider and think about? But does that outweigh the choice that you originally made to spend the rest of your life with this person? And if not, then you have to strongly consider what I call wiping it out.
Okay.
So other people will say wipe the slate clean, fresh start, whatever it is. Like you literally have to say, whatever we are mad at each other about, whatever we cannot discuss right now, I'm going to completely forget that we had a disagreement here. And then I'm going to think about that until it presents itself again and not approach it the same way I approached it the last time. Because we did not reach a resolution. We did not get to a point to where things worked out. And now it's putting a strain on the relationship to where I feel like we do not need to be together. We cannot continue to think about this because we're going to wake up every day thinking about this. We're going to go through our days thinking about this, and it's going to ruin other things that we're doing, like our job and other relationships and interpersonal relationships. And then we're going to come home frustrated about that. We're not learning how to take off the work hat and put on the home hat. Everything's becoming convoluted. And then again, you're coming right back to that problem to where you're only getting ready to spar and you're not getting ready to be loved. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to be willing to just say, okay, it's a wrap. I love you. I want to be with you. We are starting from here, and that is it. If we face this problem again, we are going to not approach it the way we did before. And in that time, it gives you the chance to say, all right, where did things go wrong? And sometimes that conversation doesn't always have to be with your spouse. It needs to be some self-reflection. And that point, you may not have taken ownership of something you were wrong about and needed to say, yeah, I was wrong. But in that moment, you were a bit prideful. And now you get to think about, you know what, I could have did this differently, or I shouldn't have said that. And it gives you the time to self-reflect and build on your own, while at the same time, your spouse is building on their own. And then that iron and this iron comes together. They sharpen one another. And then before you know it, you're learning how to handle situations that you could not handle before. And then you can have that conversation of saying, hey, based on what happened last time and this time, like, I really like the space that we're in. Like, and now I can go to bed feeling good about that. And our relationship can move to higher points of vulnerability, understanding, knowing how to handle situations, to the point to where you learn how to communicate with your spouse without even using words, because you've already been through the mess and you've learned how to navigate through that. But like I'm saying, if you feel like you're at that point where things have been stretched so thin, then just stop pulling. Because if it's already been stretched thin and you keep pulling, there is nothing else to do but snap. There is nothing else for that relationship to do but break. So sometimes you have to stop putting the strain on it and stop stretching it thin and just allow it to relax, come to and heal. And then you get to approach that situation together so that you work it out. I know that was a lot. I'm sorry.
It was. And like, I'm trying not to delve too much, because like we said, like, we're not trying to, like, the angle that we're on is not recognizing or seeing like when things are beyond repair, but just like how to move forward from that point.
Right.
Or it's like,
and I feel like the 2 episodes before this are those signs, like not going to bed angry, or learning to have those conversations, or not understanding one another. Those are clear signs that you should be working on so that you never have to get to this point.
Right. So like, you've had the conversations, you've had this up, you've voiced your opinions, you've said your opinions, you've come to compromises. And now because like, this is what happens is every time that these conversations happen, every time these things happen, like, they do get repaired fairly quickly, but for a short amount of time.
Right.
And then once those things start coming back around, it's like, because it's hard to break habits. And it's like, now you're falling back into it. And it's just like, you know what? I literally cannot take any more.
Right.
So then, like, we're here now.
Right. And you need to start realizing that you're putting too much emphasis and focus on the problem, and you're forgetting about the love aspect. You're forgetting about the care aspect. And if you come in only focusing on the negative, then you'll never remember why you chose to spend the rest of your life with this person in the first place. If I had to give a couple analogies, it's like, if I was a police officer and I worked in a neighborhood that I did not live in, and the only thing I looked for on a daily basis is based on the stereotypical stuff that I heard.
I'm just here looking for crime.
And I'm just here looking for crime. Or like, one of the things I've learned in like working with kids and working in group homes, working in schools, is that you should learn how to promote on a 5-to-1 ratio. So for every time that you try to check somebody the one time, there should be 5 good things that you should be saying before you're trying to check them again. Because if not, then your negatives are building here and your positives are slowly trying to keep up, but your negatives are always going to have that uplift or that uptick more than the positive, to where you're realizing, like, why am I even here? But like, all right, we have an argument, but I love you. I carry you. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. We have a family that is wonderful, but you did do something that I didn't want you to do. But then you fixed this. You made a great dinner. Like, you washed some laundry. You did something, but we never did talk about this. Or we went to bed angry. It's like, so you want to always make sure that scale is tipped in the good way. Because if not, then every day is going to feel like beyond repair, because the only thing you're focused on is the negative stuff.
Isn't that like what they teach us, like in the schools, where it's called like the compliment sandwich?
Whoa.
Or the criticism sandwich.
Please.
It's like, if you're going to, like, especially like when you're talking to like a subordinate for the most part, or someone who, like, when you have like these manager meetings, it's like, you make sure that if you're going to give them something to improve on, you tell them 2 areas that they're doing great on, like, as well.
Right.
It's like, hey, like, I appreciate that you're here all the time. I noticed that you did this and da-da-da. I do need you to step it up here, because like, this is like where we're lacking and stuff like that. But I do notice and I see all these other great things, because like, that's what happens when you have bad managers and stuff like that is like
we call them glows and grows.
There you go. It's like the second that you leave that meeting when you don't get the glows, immediately you be like, yo, man, like all they do is talk about this stuff I don't do, but like they just sit here and tell me that like I don't do this, this, and this, and this. But it's like, no, it's like all this stuff is important. Like you can't just be great in like first of all, there's so many areas in a relationship. I can't even narrow it down to like 10 things and stuff like that. But it's like you can't be like amazing at like 3, okay at 2, and then just be crappy at 5. But it's like half of the stuff I'm amazing at though.
Right.
But it's like, but it's like, there's other areas to it. Like when what you're doing is you're just creating problem areas by not taking care of everything. You got to make sure everything gets watered.
Right. I think people also need to learn how to properly use their buts, howevers, and all those.
Okay.
So what I've always learned, well, not always learned, but what I have learned over time is that when you use a but, a however, or an although, whatever came before that has been negated. So I think you're a good friend, but like you're always there for me. However, I love you, although. So like if you put the negative stuff before the but, however, and although, there can only be positive to come after that. Like, hey, you really made me upset today, but I love you. Like, hey, you weren't trying to hear me earlier. However, we did reach a positive outcome. Like, yo, your cooking was not on point tonight, and I was already having a tough day.
Listen, I'll touch on that.
Although I did not go to bed hungry tonight. You know what I mean? So, like, there's a number of different ways that you can spin it if you want it to work out. When people reach the point of saying it's beyond repair, it's because mentally you have already checked out. Like, you have already thought about what it is to not be here. But if you're always thinking about being here and this is where you want to be, then there is no beyond repair. There's always an opportunity to fix. I don't care if you get your pieces from the dealership or you go to the junkyard and get them. If it fits on the car and it gets it running, then keep driving that joint until the wheels fall off. Bottom line. And you know what the wheels fall off means? In sickness and in health, till death do us part. That's literally what you're saying. If you're not saying that and making your own vows, then you are already setting yourself up for failure. Yes, say your own vows, but you definitely want to make sure that you're understanding like the holy matrimony that you're going into, because it matters. Like if you're building on nothing, then it will become nothing.
That was a bar.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I thought the stretch, if you keep stretching, then it snaps. I thought that was a real bar. I made a face, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
Don't worry, on the playback, I'll see the face. I'll make those snippets for you.
Like, this man dry some heat. Let's see what you do about it.
Yeah, if I had to conclude it, I would just say, like, in order to avoid things being beyond repair, understand that there is no beyond repair. There's always an opportunity to fix it. Just sometimes you have to just step away, let it be what it is, and focus on the things that matter instead of focusing on the things that don't. And I'm not saying that the reason you got upset or the reason we're arguing doesn't mean you're insignificant and it doesn't matter, but that situation doesn't matter more than your marriage. This shouldn't be the thing that breaks you. This shouldn't be the thing that tears everything apart. Work at it. Make it work.
Are there some things that you feel are almost like irreversible, like things that you can't come back from?
Those should have been things that you should have noticed when you was dating.
I mean, but some things become new things that weren't things before. Like, you know what I mean? Like if all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, like, because situations change, things change.
So this is for me. Nothing is something that you can't come back from if you don't put your pride in the way.
You sure you don't want me to digress first before you say things like nothing? Because I always say never say nothing or never, because things always happen like that. So like,
I'm listening.
Like I say, as people, situations change, feelings change, we change. Yeah. Like you're not the same person that you were a month ago, much less the person you were 5 years ago.
Right.
It's like that. So it's like things change like throughout time. Like you don't know what, I mean, like if you're married to someone, like you kind of know what they're going through, but sometimes you just don't know how certain things affect certain people. Like we can be in the same exact situation and it'll affect both of us differently. You know what I mean? So like if all of a sudden like something happens, you know, and your partner becomes abusive, either physically or mentally or emotionally.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like is that like all of a sudden it's like, yo, like I said, in sickness and health till death do us apart, but now this person is hurting me in one way or another. Like is that not a situation in which you should, what should we call it? You should kind of call it quits.
Okay, I can understand where you're coming from that point. Yes.
Okay.
So there are some ranges that you can say is like as far as like physical abuse, any types of like mental concern to where like safety is a detriment.
Mhm.
I can understand that. But it's like if it's not a safety concern to where you're worried about like your physical well-being, it should be something you could come back from. So that is a good point.
Infidelity, because it's like
No,
not everyone is like you. Hold on, you think people can come back from cheating?
people have.
I'm not saying that they haven't, but I'm just saying that like, are you the type of person that you can come back from cheating?
I wouldn't know that unless I was in the situation.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on, man.
Now I'm being serious.
Like I
I'm
know, like for myself personally, like I couldn't. Like
Okay.
that to me, like that's one of the biggest forms of betrayal that you could put
Yeah,
on.
but you got to think like that's you now, right? But you mess around and marry somebody and you're with them for 20 years and something happens and your empathy of levels of care for this person changes and you get to the point to where like, you know what? Like you definitely cheated, but I can see how I pushed you away. Like there's definitely different ways that you look at it. You know what I mean? So it's just like, or it's just like, I love you so much. Like I'm willing to move somewhere else and start fresh. So we're not around that situation. Like you never know how much you care for somebody in that situation. Like,
and that's true. Cause I'm
just saying that like that's not a deal breaker for everybody. You know what I mean?
I know I'm just putting that as an example.
Yeah.
Cause it's like,
I'm just saying that is repairable. Yes.
Right. What I'm saying is like, well, first of all, like I've never loved somebody that deeply anyways, especially someone that I considered that I'd want to marry like at some point in time. So like, you're right. I don't know that aspect of it, but I know that I do love myself.
Put that on your Bumble.
I know that I do love myself and I know that there's things that I'm willing to tolerate and there's things that I'm not willing to tolerate. And I know that like when I do love, like I love hard. And it's like, if you're going to give that love to somebody else that's not me, and it's like, so you're telling me that like I'm giving you all this love and then you're not only are you not returning it but you're giving it to someone else, like to me that's not something that I could come back from. I don't think there's any amount of conversing or like couples therapy or anything like that that could change the fact that like you did this thing.
Okay, let me use your example as to be an advocate. All right, so you say there's nothing you love more than yourself.
Yeah.
Have you cheated yourself sometimes?
No.
Think about it though, really. Like, say you was like, I'm gonna start going to bed a little earlier so I can be more rested.
Okay.
And you don't do it. That's you cheating on yourself. I'm not gonna game as much this week, or I'm gonna stay off of social media, or I'm gonna eat differently this week. Like all those things are forms of commitment to yourself that you love, that you didn't hold to. That is a form of cheating. But you didn't go and off yourself, right? You didn't break up with yourself, right? Because you loved yourself enough to say, you know what, I'm going to give this another shot, even if it's not now or later, but I know this can happen eventually. Now just wasn't the time.
I understand like what you're saying, but like to me, like those are a lot smaller things than like what we're talking about. Like I'm going to go to bed a little bit earlier. Like I'm going to do this other stuff. That would be like in a relationship where it's like you went to bed without saying goodnight to me, give me a kiss. Like those are like the little things like that. What I'm talking about is like you literally had a conversation with another person, met up with this person at a secondary location, had sex with this other person, and then like you tried to come back home and think that like things were going to be okay because like for some reason like you had some sort of connection with this person that we did not share. Like if that's the case, like was it Donnell Jones? I'd rather leave than to cheat. Because that's like where I'm at with it. Is like don't get me wrong. Like I mean, like we've all been in situations where like we look at the grass is always green. I'd rather leave than to cheat.
No, I know the song is that was Donnell
Sweet
Jones?
little dee. Yeah, where I want to be.
That's not Carl Thomas.
That's Donnell Jones, where I want to be.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just still hear Carl Thomas'
voice. You can't see that like fedora in there.
No, I don't even remember the video. I just keep, for some reason, I'm stuck on Carl Thomas.
And I'm gonna take the word straight from the song because when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. That's why I'd rather leave than to cheat, like type of deal, stuff like that. And it's like the fact because like what that shows me
a good comment joint.
And like
we should see the comments lit up off of this one. We should see the comments lit up off of this.
Well, this was going to be like a topic that was going to bring up like weeks down the road, anyways. But it's just like, yeah, like to like, because what that shows to me also is a lack of respect. And it's like what you're going to tell me is that like we're going to be in a relationship and like you don't have the same level of respect for me as that I have for you. And it's like, yeah, like I think that that's a pretty big deal to come back from.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not something that is not achievable. I'm not saying that it's not terrible. I'm just saying that it is something that can still be repaired based on the relationship of the people that are together.
That's true. I just don't think it's the same.
Will and Jada still together.
Is that the example that we're going for?
Jay-Z and Beyonce still together.
Is that the example you want to go for too? I don't idolize their relationships at all.
I'm not saying I idolize their relationships. I'm just saying people are making it work.
Yeah, but
people are making it work.
There's a lot of money in those relationships still. Like there's like you give up on those things. Like there's a lot of checks that ain't coming.
You bring that up too, but they're both established billionaires themselves, so it wouldn't be money that kept them together.
Because I'll tell you right now, if that happened, and then you try to do the opposite thing, where it's like, oh, like you get your hall pass, and like you could cheat, it's like that doesn't do anything for me because I wouldn't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't. There's no eye for an eye that we both end up blind. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah, no.
I'm just saying, like there are situations where it's like, yo, sometimes it's like I need to get up out of here. You want to talk about your safety, like that's like, yo, my mental stability, like my emotional stability, like I'm like that. I can't do that, and it's like it's important to me that stuff is in check.
No, I get it. I'm just saying that love is a very strong component, and it is something that can be repaired.
And I think that's a thing in itself too. Is like love is a piece of the puzzle, but it isn't the whole puzzle. Because it's like I've loved some people that I don't even talk to anymore. Like you know what I mean. And it's just like, yeah, it's like that sometimes. It's like, yo, I got nothing but love for you, but you are love. But it's like you just bring nothing or like the whatever you bring besides that love, like is toxic to me, and I can't bring that. Because like all you do is poison in the water well. Like I can't have you doing that.
Somebody's poisoning the water hole.
There's a snake in my boots.
I'm on my Jim Jones ad libs. But no, I understand what you're saying, but I still think that all that is preferential.
Okay.
It depends on the person, you know, and where they are in their relationship. You never know. Some people are different.
So I think everybody's values are different.
Yeah.
And I think, and like granted, this is another thing that was going to come up in weeks. I don't think people value themselves as much as they should in relationships. And it's like, because you're so used to like when relationships start, you have to be so accommodating and you have to be so compromising that like the me becomes we, but like there's not just a me becomes we that becomes us. Like there's also a you and I, and it's like you have to be your opposite as well.
Sorry.
Yeah. And that's kind of like just what I'm getting at is like I do think that like, and that's what's probably the most important of it is like you yourself should know yourself. You should know your boundaries. And it's like, and if you have your boundaries, you know your boundaries, you establish your boundaries, communicate your boundaries. When someone oversteps and starts to compromise your boundaries, like that's the point in time. And it's like, and you've told them like, yo, like you're compromising my stuff. And they go, oh, all right, my fault. And then they do it again anyways. I think I think that's grounds to keep it moving.
Okay. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments. I like, listen, man, y'all keep saying y'all listening. I really want to know if somebody listening now, because I feel like this is a very sensitive situation that everyone has at least been in at least once, whether it was like some high school stuff, whether it was like some serious stuff, you know what I mean? One of my homies,
what about
those Jonathan Hall, told me one day puppy love is serious to the puppy, you know what I mean? So
what about like when you're in one of those situations where like, you know, you in love, you married, wife becomes pregnant, the baby comes out, it's not your baby?
All right, so we're gonna discuss that on the next episode. I'm just saying, like,
oh, what's up with this white baby? That baby from the mountains of Caucasus. That ain't my baby. Them like
just because he's named after me don't mean
he's Darren's man.
Just because you called him Darren don't mean he belongs to Darren.
That's like all I'm saying. I feel like your pops is gonna have a paragraph for this comment section.
We'll see. Yo, listen, and we've been evaluating number one fans, man. Listen. We're gonna have an episode where we talk about number one fans, man. We got some people in the comments, we got people on the Instagram, we got people who are avid followers who have added this pod to their daily routine. We appreciate y'all. All right.
So here's like my two questions then. If we're gonna put a question to the comment section.
Okay.
If anybody who's been in a relationship where they've either been cheated on or cheated on somebody and you're still in that relationship, what are the things that you had to do to like kind of make that work? Or like what are the steps that you had to go through to either forgive that person or to make the relationship sustainable? And then those of us who haven't been in that type of thing, you yourself, if you were in a relationship with somebody, a very serious relationship, especially to the point we're talking about marriage, and they cheated on you, do you think that you'd be able to come back from something like that?
So what are your non-negotiables?
I guess that's the best way to put it.
Okay. All right.
Which everybody should have non-negotiables as well.
Definitely. And it should be clearly understood between the two what those are.
Because people will say theirs, and then they'll like the other person will be like, oh, I can get them to change that. And it's like, it needs to be very clear. It's like, nah, like this is where I'm at. The big one is when people say like, I don't want kids. Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, oh yeah, like I can go either way. It's like, nah, you kind of need to be on you both don't want kids type of time.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? For that to be able to work. But they'll try to make it work. And then like 8 years down the line, it's in shambles. And it's like, yeah, no duh. Because like you guys, this is a very big issue that you guys were, and one of you was clear on it, the other one wasn't.
Right. Well, I like it, man. That's a strong note to finish the pod on, man. So let's see what happens in these comment sections. Again, we appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, notification. Big nasty.
You're gonna finish this episode without a nasty nugget?
Oh shoot! And a cultural gem. I'm tripping. Do you have a nasty nugget?
Of course I do.
Oh, excited!
That's what we said, right? Like,
all right, you want to get the cultural gem out of the way?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cultural gem for this episode. All right, I'm gonna make sure I got my stuff together because I know I have my stuff together. Boom, it's right there. All right, this episode, we are going with none other than Meteor Man. Man. I don't know.
Why Meteor Man?
It popped in my head and I was just like, I'm writing it down before it goes somewhere. And I was just like, Meteor Man. So for those who don't know, Meteor Man stars Robert Townsend. It's literally exactly what it is. Meteor crashes on the planet. It hits Robert Townsend. He gets all these superpowers, becomes a superhero. Mm-hmm. It is like a comical, fun family movie.
Yeah, except for like a spoof version of the superhero genre.
Yep, all black characters in it. So just so you know, you have Robert Townsend, we have Don Cheadle, we have Marla Gibbs, we have James Earl Jones, we have Robert Gilliam. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. I'm sorry. Ooh. Eddie Griffin, He Who Shall Remain Nameless, Luther Vandross.
You know who we're talking about.
Sinbad. We got Faison Love, John
black actor
Witherspoon, R.I.P. We got Debo, rest in peace. We got Wallace Shawn, Chris Tucker, Big Daddy Kane, Jennifer Lewis. Like it goes on. And Samuel L. Jackson is in this movie. Like listen, man, this was a gem. This was a gem.
I'm not about 100% on the backstory of this movie, but I'm pretty sure like Robert Townsend like funded a lot of this movie himself because like people were telling him that no one wants to see a movie with a black superhero, really? or it'd be like unbelievable.
Really?
And it's like the movie did like pretty well, and like he made like a good chunk of change back from this movie. Like I said, I don't have the full details in my brain, but it's like I know it was very positive receptive. One of my favorite things that I always remember about this movie is James Earl Jones like taped on high top fade that he had. What are you gonna do, Meteor Man?
He did it before Steve Harvey did it.
Yeah, but it was like legit, like tape, like packing tape. Like
right. Wait, listen, Meteor Man, check it out. Oh,
where can you see it?
Yep, I'm tripping. I was just about to do it. I'm tripping. So
this man is big tripping, and cheese. You know it's YouTube and Voodoo TV. You know like this little rhyme. You might even be able to get it on Amazon Prime.
You can get it on Amazon Prime, and that's literally the only place you can get it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is it free, or do you got to pay the $4.99?
Let's see. Nope, you gotta pay for it.
Of course. Robert Townsend's making sure he kept the checks, boy.
Right. For some reason it says Roku. I don't know what Roku is.
Roku's like, yeah. Well, like Roku is there is like an app for Roku, but it's more like Roku TVs. Like they have the kind of like how you have a Fire Stick. Mm-hmm. Like Roku has like their own thing like that, where it's like you use the Roku to get to your apps.
Got you. And supposedly, it's on YouTube. And supposedly it was on Netflix at one point.
I feel like I remember seeing that at some point.
Wow. Okay.
Any reason why you decided to go with Meteor Man? Or did something happen where you were just like Meteor Man just popped in your head?
No, I had seen a picture of Robert Townsend, and the first thing that I thought of was Meteor Man. And I was just like, man, how did I forget about Meteor Man? And then it just bring me to Blank Man and brought me to so many other things. Yeah. But yeah, Meteor Man is it. But without further ado, Nasty Nugget.
It's not a long one. It's not a big, or it is kind of a big deal. But like, so yesterday or this morning marked the beginning of Ramadan for like a bunch of people. So like this is now 29 days, I believe, of the month begins Ramadan is obviously for people who have the Muslim or Islamic faith. It is meant to be like a cleanse, not only like spiritually, but it's supposed to, help them focus more on community and things of that nature. And I just wanted to point it out there, like, to our brothers out there celebrating Ramadan, that like you are supported, you are seen. And I hope, I forgot what the turn of phrase is for it, but it's just the fact that like, I see the commitment, because that's what it is. It's supposed to be like a recommitment to their God. It's supposed to focus on prayer. It's supposed to focus on community. And by doing so, they abstain or fast from things such as food while the sun is up, and sexual interaction and things of that nature. And I just think every time it comes around, like I always try to be like super respectful, because I feel like it's something that's easily missed, because like, it's not something it's not like Christmas where there's like a bunch of banners up and people are wearing hats and like doing like all this other stuff. Even Lent, like people do like the ash.
So I know one of the things that's like that is like there are subtle connections between Christianity and Muslim faith.
There's more subtle.
Yeah, and I know one of the things that is said is like when you are fasting or going through Lent or going through Ramadan, you're not supposed to broadcast it. You're not even supposed to look as if you are fasting. So like make sure you're oiling your face and you're washing your hair and you're taking care of your body and you're walking with the confidence in the process of which you are committing to the faith that you're walking in. Because if you're doing it just so people could be like, oh, you're fasting or showing it and you're boasting it, you're the only credit is going to you and none of that glory is going to the God that you're serving. So if you're going to do it, then you're doing it in sublimation.
I heard you. So yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to our Islamic homies out there. What you call it? Got your back. This is probably the worst thing that I could have done. But gotcha. All right. Take that back. Yeah. Oh, we put it in the thing. Yeah. I thought like you were putting it up in solidarity. I was like, you want me to put mine up too?
No. I was opening that trunk so you could throw it in there. Yeah, the fist was cuffed. It was cuffed because I was opening it up the trash barrel. But
it's a trash barrel now. I thought it was a chest that we were putting a lock on.
Okay, there you go. It's a chest.
That's what I thought. I don't know. Like your trash can makes that noise when you throw the trash.
Listen, you never know what's in that trash barrel.
Raccoons.
Right? Definitely. But yeah, like I said, we appreciate y'all. Thank you for the nasty nugget. All right. Till next time. We'll see y'all.
There's actually a Raisinette on Tuesday.
You definitely know it.
Where we talk about first date conversations. So
hey, I like it.
Make sure y'all hit them comments, man, because I feel like that I feel like we got a lot to talk about with this whole cheating mess.
Oh yeah. All right, we'll see what's up. We'll holla at y'all.